Good morning, the nerdy, the wordy, the book club fans, and people who are here to watch us talk about the Wheel of Time. Today is going to be a little bit sensitive at times, and we just wanted to offer up a quick content warning.
Yes.
We will be discussing sexual assault in this episode of the book club.
Yes.
Not because we want to, but because it's in the books, and we talk about the books.
Yep, we talk about the books. Obviously, I mean, if you clicked into this, you probably have already read it and you know what you're getting into, but just in case there's somebody who clicks on this for whatever reason, that's it. That's your content warning. Be nice in the chat, be respectful, and let's get to it.
Just remember, our mods are right. Don't push them.
Yes.
This is chapter 19 to 31 of The Crown of Swords. That is right. Welcome back to the nerdy, the wordy, the book club. We've got some housekeeping to get through at the beginning of the show, but the first thing that we wanted to mention right off the top here is that today in Canada is Orange Shirt Day. Clarus, what does that mean?
It is a day of remembrance for the survivors of the residential school system here in Canada. Some pretty awful, heinous, horrible shit. And if you're not in Canada, you might not be aware of Orange Shirt Day, but we did just want to bring awareness to it. And because of that, we are making a base donation of $100 plus whatever comes in as super chats for today's episode.
Yeah, we'll be making that donation to the Orange Shirt Society. The Canadian government and the Catholic Church have a pretty rotten history with those residential schools. And it is a day of remembrance and reflection for Canadians to remember that a lot of those kids didn't make it home.
Yeah.
And it is it's pretty bleak.
Yeah.
Part of our history.
Yes.
And we wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that today.
Absolutely.
And we thank anyone who wants to donate along with us. If you throw out a super chat, 100% of those donations are going to go towards the Orange Shirt Society today.
Yeah.
On top of that, it is important to remember that this podcast is brought to you by Audible.
What?
Audible. That's right. That's where our portion of the donation comes from. Audible is a service where you can listen to audiobooks. I'm sure that you could listen to some really great audiobooks about reconciliation efforts. That might be a good way to spend your free monthly credit that you will get if you go to audibletrial.com/nerdynightly.
Yes.
Get a free month of Audible. And maybe this month, get a book that helps you make the world a better place. Because we need people whose focus is that right now.
Yes, dear God. Oh, Audible. You listen to the words. And you can listen to the words that we're about to talk about today.
You can.
This is why we are all here.
I think now, Jake Hendricks, thank you for that orange super chat for Orange Shirt Day. We really appreciate that.
Jake Hendricks, we appreciate that.
So should we get to audio? Speaking of audiobooks, should we briefly talk about the title of this video?
The title of this video, what?
She spun around before he could come on her from behind.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't put the whole thing in the title because I think that YouTube would have suppressed this this video. But if you saw our reaction to chapter 31, you know exactly what we're talking about. Robert Jordan is so horny, and I can't.
I know that we went from, like, the beginning of this podcast. We were, like, serious. So we laughed really hard at a sex innuendo.
Yes. Guys, there's going to be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of fun in today's episode, and there's going to be a lot of heavy shit as well. So.
Rich Stabenow, thank you for the super chat and for joining the cause. William Brown, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you, guys.
It means a lot, y'all.
Chats,
it means a lot.
Thank you.
This is a weird section to talk about because of the nature of our show. Because we make a lot of sex jokes on this show.
Yes.
And we talk about how horny Robert Jordan's writing is. And Robert Jordan's writing is very horny, in my opinion.
Yes, it is.
He talks about breasts a lot.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of fun talking about sex. This section also has a sexual interaction that is going to be really hard to talk about.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to be trying very hard to ride the line of having fun with the sexual moments that we can have fun with.
Yes.
While also not trying to denigrate
Yes.
the non-consensual encounter that happens in this section.
Yes.
Because here's my thing. Sex is incredibly fun. It's an incredibly positive thing, and it is hilarious. Sex is so funny when it's consensual.
Yes.
When it is not consensual, it immediately becomes the exact opposite of all of those things.
Yeah.
And I think that the nature of our podcast is that we have fun with this stuff. I hope that we do a good job talking about it today. I think we're going to try and keep each other accountable to doing a good job of doing that.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't like start today's show without talking about this a little bit because
for sure
there is a straight up rape scene in this section.
There is.
There's no other word for it. There's no like, well, there's no but. There is a rape scene in this section, and we're going to have to talk about that.
Yeah.
And it happens to one of our main characters, and we are going to go fully into it. So before we get into these chapters, Methany
and Sammy,
Mike and Ryan Welsh, thank you so much for joining in on the donation.
Thank you for those super chats. They mean a lot.
Mike Yoski says, which will raise more money, charity for children's hardships or a lightsaber fund?
No, oh my God. No.
That is.
We're gonna, we're off to a strong start.
We're off to a strong start.
Gonna be a sizable donation. I can foresee it.
Yes. All right. Let's, actually, before we dive in, Clarence, what did you think of this week's section? Did you enjoy it?
Okay, there was so much in this. I was like, buckle up, guys. Bring your snacks, bring your water, hydrate, because we have so much to talk about. There's so much that happens and so much set up in this section that I was like, this is gonna take like 4 hours.
Jason Turner, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you, Jason. Which I know you guys don't mind. But yeah. Oh boy. Stuff that I really liked. Stuff that I thought was well written.
Colonel Sanders, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you as well for that super chat. You guys.
We really appreciate it.
Are seriously incredible.
Yeah,
Thank
the
you.
Orange Society is a very worthy cause, and we're very glad to be donating to them today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with everything you're saying.
Yeah.
What's weird is I really liked this section other than the Matt situation.
Even that was not done distastefully. And so
sure, no, I agree with that. Yeah,
I think it's obviously there for a reason.
See, that's my concern. I hope that it is. My concern is that because of when this was written, that it will be a joke. That like, because here's the thing, y'all. It is still hard in 2022 to talk about men facing sexual assault in a way that is like honest and real to the situation. And so I hope that this is handled in a way that it has like an emotional payoff that feels worthy of how dark a moment it is, and it doesn't become a like goofy thing that happened to Matt. Where characters are like, what do you mean she assaulted you? You had sex with a queen. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that would be...
Oh, I'm sure that is going to be, like, at least there are going to be characters who, yes, have that opinion.
Yeah.
Probably including her son, which is very weird. Mega, thank you so much for that super chat. Thank you.
I can't read that name because the color.
Oh.
Talmains,
thank you as well.
Talmains is a good dude. Talmains is, you know what I mean?
We stand.
Anyone who rides with a red hand stands with indigenous people, you know?
Also, Kevin, thank you.
Kevin for being a narg.
Welcome back to the nerd table. I appreciate it.
And Zedrog, I hope that you get to bed as soon as this is over. Thank you for your super chat.
Thank you, guys. It means a lot.
I agree with what J. Allen Bennett says here. I really want to believe that Jordan understood the horrific rape scene was a horrific rape scene, but it really feels like it's played for laughs. All I can say is some great people do bad things. And what I find so interesting about it is that from Thailand's perspective, like, It is sexual assault because Matt doesn't come from her culture and doesn't understand like the cultural differences between them. And like I think that Thailand is expecting him to behave like a man who grew up in Abu Dhabi culture. And I think that there's like... I
don't think all the wives have sex with their husbands at knife point.
No. Well, but see, that's what's weird about it, right? Like, I don't know. And so it feels to me like the laugh about it is supposed to be the cultural difference between the two of them. And that cultural difference is so egregious that it leads to this horrific thing happening.
Yeah.
Because I want to believe that Thailand does not intend for it to be assault, right?
Yeah.
It is, and I'm not downplaying that at all. Right? What she did is horrifying.
Yeah.
But I want to believe that that's not what her intention was.
Right.
Right? And that this is a case of her not understanding. And maybe I'm being too generous.
Well, no, I think it is definitely worth bringing up that the Ebudari culture is kind of horrific in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it is rape, but also, does Thailand completely understand that? That is actually, like, a really interesting question. Because I don't know. I don't know how she's been taught to interact with other humans. And, like, that doesn't excuse the behavior, but I do think it is worth mentioning.
Well, but here, this is the point that I was getting to. I think it's an interesting question to ask in a book that is willing to take the time to get into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that this one will.
I don't know either.
And so I don't think that with everything going on, I don't know that there will be time. Mitsurugi, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
Wait, Matt has trouble with women with knives? Clearly.
Well, and he even says, and I think that the jokiness will come from Matt, because Matt is kind of a jokester.
Yeah, but he's going to be joking from a place of pain, and that's going to hurt me.
Well, no, but and that's why it's going to be different. Like, we're going to know as the reader, but, like, the people he's interacting with aren't necessarily going to, right?
Oh, no, 100%. No, I think that... Yeah, I just think that... I think that she comes from a culture where she's been taught that that's okay.
Yeah.
And I think that that is more a commentary... Because I'm not saying that it would be okay in our world, right? I'm saying that, like, in terms of it being a commentary on our world, I think that it is about cultures where we are taught that it is okay to do those kinds of things to one another. And that exists, like, even in, like, modern society in America, right? Like, I'm not even talking about, like, some far-flung... I'm talking about, like, there are places where there are places where, like, if they're your wife, it is okay.
Yeah.
There are places where, like, if... There are men who genuinely believe that if a woman says yes once, that the no's after that don't count, right? And, like, that is a cultural thing that they're taught. And I'm not saying that what she's taught is right. I'm just saying that I think that the Ebudari culture has ingrained in her a version of consent that is absolutely incorrect.
And I think it is definitely a commentary on situations like that you hear that are horrendous. Right?
Embrace, thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you. Guys, it's really nice to see all of that orange out there.
And so, I don't know. I think that I don't really know how I'm going to end up feeling about this until we read forward and see how it resolves.
For sure. Or
because it feels like we stopped in the middle of that story.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that there's going to be a lot of painful moments with Matt.
Yeah.
Because he's a guy and because he's flirtatious, like, there are going to be characters who either don't believe him or think it's funny, and that's gonna suck. And you're right. I just hope that it continues to be done in a way that actually matters, and that is not just a thing that happened and we're just gonna move on and forget about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into the chapters. We'll talk about this a little bit more when we get to it.
For sure.
But let's start with chapter 19, Diamonds and Stars. This is the direct continuation of last week, where we met the worst character in the book so far. If you want to get your nerdies right, Cat Swain sucks shirts, go to our merch store.
Jesus Christ.
One of us is faster than the other, and Artie has a shirt up. Marana. We start with Marana. And Marana's like, yo, Cat Swain sucks. Because Cat Swain sucks.
Oh my god.
And so Cat Swain, they go down to one of the rooms in the Palace, and they have a conversation about mostly just Cat Swain asking questions about literally everything.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's like, how much does she actually know, and how much is she just like making sure that they tell her the truth that she already knows? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think that that's fair. I think that there's a lot of it that she doesn't know, and it makes her look worse from the previous chapter, in my opinion. I think that she goes into the meeting... No, but honestly, like, she goes into the meeting with Rand missing a lot of context.
Yeah.
That she gets in this conversation that I think would have benefited her in that first conversation with Rand. And she leaves this conversation being like, well, now it's impossible because of what Aleda did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, yes, but also you made it worse with your actions. right? Like, if you had just talked to a couple people first, if you had done the smart thing, which is to go into your first interaction with the Dragon Reborn with information rather than lacking, you could have come out of that conversation in a stronger position.
Yeah.
But because you went in without knowledge, you behaved the way that you did, and you caused yourself problems. Because now Rand was going to view you the same way that he views Aleda. Jess Plush Infinity, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you.
Genuinely. Thank you. You know what I mean?
You guys are stepping up today, and it means a lot, for sure.
But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that all of the conversation around Rand with Cadsuane in the last chapter that I had a problem with was she went in like a bull in a china shop. And if she had just gone in knowing a little bit about the situation she was going into, I think she would have behaved completely differently. And she is at the end of her section here blaming Aleda, being like, Aleda made this impossible. But she has to know deep down she fucked up. A little bit. Not completely. She can turn it around, but she fucked up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Honestly, the thing that I'm most interested in that I hope we get to in the last section of this book is if there are repercussions for that moment and what Rand's impression and relationship with Cadsuane is moving forward. Because obviously she is a big part of the series, judging by people's reactions to her. Like, I don't think she's going anywhere. But yeah, it's going to... I hope that there's some relevance, at least in the last chunk of this book.
Yeah.
There's also so much else going on that, like, I don't know if that will be the case.
Well, and it's funny that they introduce Cadsuane, and then Cadsuane is like... She asks some questions, then we don't see her again for this section.
Yeah.
Like, she literally shows up, asks some questions, and then we don't see her for 12 chapters.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gone.
She's gone. Granted, so is Rand. Like, this section is not about Rand at all. And
True.
I feel like I'm like, we're heading towards the end. We have, I think, like 12 chapters left in the book. I don't even know where Rand's storyline is at. Rand hasn't done anything.
Yeah, we have...
In this entire book, Rand has just kind of, like, sat around moping. No, but seriously, what has he done, right?
Hey, he sent Perrin and Berelain off to go deal with Massima.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's not nothing.
The Dragon Reborn has done one thing, which is send other people to do things.
That's what a leader does.
I'm just saying, in terms of, like, plot, he did, Min.
Yeah, well...
He had consensual sex with Min.
That is... You're not wrong.
I just feel like...
It's about damn time.
For him to be, like, the protagonist of the series, a lot of these books like to forget about Rand for significant chunks.
No.
Yeah, like, what was it? The third book, Rand's just, like, not in it.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. But I don't think any of the other books really lost the thread of Rand the Dragon Reborn.
Sure. No, I'm not saying they lost the thread of that. I'm just saying that, like, in terms of his action, there are a lot of books where Rand is not acting, he is reacting.
Yeah.
Well, and I would like to see more of Rand in action rather than just, like, yelling at himself in a throne room.
Yeah.
Personally.
Sorry, I'm just going to bring up my notes.
I will also say the only thing that Cadsuane seems upset about is that Alana bonded Rand.
Which,
do you think that she's upset that Alana bonded Rand, or do you think that she's upset that she can't bond Rand?
Well, I think that's what Marana thinks from that point of view that we get.
Yeah.
Whether or not Cadsuane actually feels that way, I have no idea, because we get, like, a look, and, like, everyone seems to be, like, 11 out of 10 at reading faces and inferring meaning from, like, a blink. So, I don't know. It could be both. Or it could just be, like, she thinks that what Alana did is fucked up.
Yes.
I don't know.
We also learned that Cadsuane is 270 years old.
Yep. Sen, welcome back to the nerd
Sen, thanks for being a narc.
table.
Didn't Rand come on to Min from behind? Guys, come on.
No, they were too busy face
Be
sucking.
mature.
There was no from behind.
Threx says, at least the third book's title made it clear that Rand would be gone for, oh wait.
Threk, thank you. Welcome back to the nerd table.
Thank you for being a narc for 9 months, both of you. Holy crap.
God.
I can't believe we've been doing this for 9 months.
9 months narg. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I know.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's at least 270 years old, which
we're going to talk about it at the end. We're going to talk about it after we get to the end of chapter 31 about why I think that the Aes Sedai being able to be that old, I don't like it. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We will. That is a tease.
Yeah.
That is a tease. So Min does. So they have that conversation. Cadsuane learns a bunch of stuff.
Oh, I wrote down that I think Cadsuane is going to die helping Rand.
I don't think so. I think Cadsuane survives the whole series.
Really?
Yeah, I think Cadsuane is going to be the only person alive at the end of these books. Cadsuane is a cockroach who will not die.
Wow.
Not in like a negative way.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous, but like I memean that like I don't think anything can kill Cadsuane.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that it's possible for that woman to die. She will out survive the heat death of the universe.
No, so the reason I think that she's going to die in helping Rand is that she can't stay away from events that are happening.
Yeah.
It's like she has to like be there for them. She has to do something about them. And I think that is going to be the death of her.
Right. Do you want to place
Rand.
a bet on it?
Place a bet that she dies?
Or lives to the end of the series.
Great, I will take what's
the bet?
Guys, chat, what's the bet? We've bet on it. What's the bet?
We need stakes for whether or not Cadsuane... This is a bet that won't pay off for a year.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is that you all already know. Yeah, well, not all of you. We have some first-time readers with us, but...
That's true.
You guys already know
who's wrong, so... I don't know. What's the bet?
A bet that everyone will know the result of except us for like a year.
I love that for us. Father Jerusalem,
thank you for that super chat. Be mature. Is this your first time here? Who told us to be mature?
Us? Mature? Never. Cadsuane is great. I'm gonna make a counter t-shirt. I just don't know what it is.
Ice bucket challenge.
Fuck off.
Oh, okay. We'll do the ice bucket challenge. That's fun.
No, I don't want to do that.
Do you not believe that you're right?
No, I just...
Come on, it's the ice bucket challenge. It'll be fun. The last time I dumped water on you, it got 10,000 views, so...
Wow. Oh my god, the Cadsuane bet. Cadsuane cosplay! But that way everybody wins.
Yeah, that's not... There's no negative there.
Nobody loses.
Ice bucket challenge. Come on, shake on it.
Is that the one, like you dump it over the person's head?
Yeah.
Okay, well, as long as we can get a stepladder.
All right. If Cadsuane is in the final, in the epilogue, or is alive, like, she doesn't have to be, like, mentioned. If she doesn't die. If
she dies of old age in an epilogue, and then 20 years later, that doesn't count.
If the epilogue is just everybody, how long they survived past Tarmangaden. How about this? If Cadsuane makes it beyond Tarmangaden. Oh, but does anyone survive Tarmangaden? No, I'll take that bet. I think people do. I think people do. So if Cadsuane makes it past Tarmangaden, I get to dump water on you. If she dies at any point in the series, that week you get to dump water on me.
Great. Love it. Love that for us.
What if Cadsuane dies this book? Then I probably am going to lose this bet now.
Nah.
Because there's so many more opportunities for you to win than for me. Like, there's one way I win this, and there's so many ways that you win this.
Yeah, but, not a lot of people have died yet, so...
we get to come up on her from behind with the... God damn it.
We had some super chats. Can you scroll up for me, please?
Yeah, sorry, we were making bets. Mega KYX, thank you for that super chat. Cadsuane bet, Cadsuane cosplay, very funny. Caleb Tatro, thank you for the super chat. I'm running a little behind. What do you think of the probable Cadsuane casting? I love Shora Agdashalu. I think that's how her name's pronounced.
I don't know who that is.
I think she's fantastic, so I would love it. And Trevor Fast, thank you for being a Narg for 6 months. Sorry at the beginning, loved your chapter 31 Patreon reaction. It was everything I was hoping for. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who's joined the Patreon. Really, really appreciate that.
This person?
Yes.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything.
She's very, very, very talented.
She's
She's wildly talented. I've heard she's great on The Expanse, which we
haven't seen yet.
Should we do reactions to The Expanse?
I don't know. Would you guys watch reactions to The Expanse?
That would be a long-term reaction project because it's like 5 seasons. Maybe after Stranger Things we'll do The Expanse.
I know a lot of people really like it, and it looks fascinating, but...
people are saying yes.
Okay. Well then.
Okay.
Alrighty. Good to know.
Wow. Oh, there's a lot of excitement for The Expanse.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
Cool. I didn't realize it was such a popular show, but if it's been going on that long,
people are saying it is the best sci-fi show on television. Like, better than anything Disney Plus has made, better than Halo, better than all of it. People are saying, like, The Expanse is the sci-fi show of our time.
Okay.
I've heard it compared a lot to, it's this decade's version of the Battlestar Galactica reboot.
Oh, cool.
In terms of quality.
Zedrock, thank you.
Thank you for that super chat.
Well, now we have to.
I guess we're watching The Expanse.
Damn.
That will be a few weeks out. Give us a time to figure out when we're going to do that, because we're busy right now.
Yes.
After House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, and/or She-Hulk, and what's the other one?
What is the other one?
I don't know.
No, I think that was it, because we just
After
finished
those shows are done.
Yeah.
So, Rand and Min have sex because Herdfell died.
Yeah, Min walks in and she's like, I just saw a dead body. Well, no, they have sex because,
Both of them, yeah.
No, what's her name died?
Colaviari. Colaviari.
Yes.
I shouldn't make a joke. She hung herself. Very sad.
Yeah, that was very dark. But also, I should have seen it coming.
Yes.
Like, honestly, like, there was no way she was actually gonna, like, go to a farm. I didn't think about it. And so Min shows up and is like, I just saw dead people and we cried over Herdfell and now we're going to bone down.
Yeah, which I get, right? Like, there's just that element of it where you're like...
You want to feel alive.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you realize the mortality of life.
Well, I think I said this to you when we were talking about it already, but... You know, I think that there's so much tension in their lives about war and death and the people around them and relationships and how they're going to keep these kingdoms together. And their lives are so tense and filled with all these different tensions. And this one tension between the two of them is the one that they can do something about.
And so they can satisfy.
I think that relieving that one tension for them is such a relief and allows them to forget about all the other tensions in their lives.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think that it would be weird, but I get why this happens the way that it does.
Yeah. I forgot that Min actually saw her death. And Rand tried to prevent it by not hanging her, but she hung herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know. This felt
Poor Rand. Rand tried.
This felt very human to me, and I really thought it was I really thought it was very well handled, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought, I just thought that this was, especially considering it's about someone hanging themselves, like, it was very, it's dark, right?
Yeah.
But I think that Min and Rand both have very, like, real world human reactions to it.
Yeah.
And there, you know, it's that, like, immediate despair followed by an absolute need to do something that will distract you so much because you can't think about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this really struck me, and I was,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but it made sense. I was like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that I really hope that next time we catch up with Rand, he's not like, God, Min took her teasing so far last time. She'll do anything to make me think she's a woman.
Oh my God. No, you can't go back from that.
I don't know, him and Aviendha have barely spoken since they had sex. Rand has a history of not talking to the people he has sex with afterwards.
Oh, that's true. He might be like, all right, Min, now you need to leave. That would suck, actually.
Yeah.
All right, which girl is going to be the first to get pregnant?
None of them.
Really?
And not until after Tarmangaden. And then Rand is going to die in Tarmangaden, and all three of them are going to be pregnant.
At one point, we were sure that his baby meant something for Tarmangaden.
I just don't think that there's going to be time. This book has taken place in, like, a week.
That's true.
This entire book has taken place in a week, right? Because there's been no time jumps. I'm pretty sure it's been like 6 days since the beginning of this book.
No, it's been a month. They've been looking for the bull for over a month.
No, but that was including last book.
Really?
Yeah, they were looking for the book in last book. The bull in last book. So it can't have been a month, right?
I want us to bet on it again.
New bet.
God. They have a hot foursome and all get pregnant in the same evening.
Yeah, Mooring says it's been 5 days.
What?
Yeah. Right? Like, no, but I don't think I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
This whole book has been, like, a couple of days.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So
I
guess just don't see how we could get to, like, children unless at some point there's a 15-year time or 18-year time jump.
No, I think shit's moving too fast for that. I think you're right. Well, that prediction is dead in the water.
Yeah, like I don't think that kids are going to be a part of any of this.
Mm-hmm,
Do you think that there's a weave for birth control?
Probably.
What? That's not that weird.
No, it was just funny. There's always a T in fantasy settings, but it makes sense that it would be the one power.
One of my favorite things back in the like fan fiction, there was a point where I read a lot of Harry Potter fan fiction. Don't at me about it. And one of my favorite things that people would always add into their fan fictions is that there was a Hogwarts class for the girls that the boys didn't know about, where they would learn like the spell for birth control. Because private schools are notorious for girls getting pregnant, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these fan fictions would have like, there's no way that Hogwarts doesn't have some form of birth control, or all of these 15, 16, 17-year-olds who are
horny
without supervision, and
Yeah.
where the girls can go into the boys' rooms, they would all be pregnant.
Yeah. Wow, I never thought about that really, but yep, you ain't wrong.
But I did appreciate, like, back in those days, fan fiction, all of the fan fictions would have, like, sex ed at Hogwarts class that the girls would have to attend. Not the boys, but whatever. Anyway, that's...
My guess is Min is first one to get pregnant.
No, all of them at the same time.
Because Taviran.
They all find out they're pregnant on the same day, 3 days after Tarmageddon
does that mean
ends.
all their cycles are synced exactly so that they ovulate on the same day?
I think by the time Tarmageddon happens, they'll have been together long enough that their cycles will sync up, yes.
Sure. Taviran.
Look,
guys.
I was in a dance company with only women for a couple of years before I was a young Canadian, and their cycles got synced.
It does happen.
That is not a joke.
No,
it happens,
it is a thing.
and I had to deal with it because I was the only boy.
The worst is when it's like a house of female roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It happens.
Dragonsman, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Jumping in late, listening from the beginning, you guys have me rolling at the chapter 31 reaction. Made my day. Love y'all. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you. Yes. No, guys, Friday's our favorite day of the week.
Jeff Dennis says triple cream pies in a foursome. Oh.
Hey, guys.
Mega K-Wax says Tarmageddon cycle predictions next week on Nerdy Nightly. Who is ovulating during Tarmageddon? We'll answer those questions and more here at the Nerdy Wordy Book Club.
All of them. Oh my god.
Do you think the girls are like stronger with the power when they're ovulating? Do you think they could like figure out? Do you think they could figure out when they're ovulating based on how like Sidon feels to them?
No, but I'm sure that they could use some kind of healing weave to figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't think they, like, feel it, but I think they could, like, find that information.
Ingemar Sato, thank you so much for that super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you to everyone who is... I know that we're making sex jokes, but I do want to say thank you for everyone who is donating for the Orange Shirt Society.
Yes,
I really appreciate it.
It means a lot.
Mm-hmm. So this chapter... We're still in chapter 1, y'all. Buckle up. This is the Nerdy, the Wordy, the Book Club. Mm-hmm. We're consistent. Kat Swain. Kat Swain... is like, yo, the Aiel should send girls to the tower. Kat Swain, you're in for a rough awakening if you think that.
Good luck with that one. Yeah.
And she doesn't like the Aiel.
Yeah.
It's a weird end of the chapter. I feel like that should have been in the Kat Swain part earlier, but whatever.
So Kat Swain's last failure was 207 years ago. How old do you actually think that she is?
Like 312.
312.
I think like at like 42, she fucked something up.
I think that Rihanna is older than her, so I'm going to say like 350.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
The difference between 312 and 350 is...
Not much, yeah.
At that point, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, now we go to chapter 20. Patterns within patterns. So, Savannah is chilling on the ground.
Yeah.
And some people, they use a mother box to call Darkseid from Apocalypse.
Wow.
This is the most, they literally like create a boom tube with the mother box. I was like, this is the most comic book bullshit they've ever done in this series. But yeah, so they have cell phones that you channel into, and it pings it sends a location ping. So
it's find my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find my call box.
Yeah, literally.
And so Demandrid, but they don't know it's Demandrid.
I mean, here's the thing. We know that before
the breaking... Or not Demandrid, sorry, Samael.
We know that before the breaking, there was some crazy-ass, like, sci-fi-esque tech, so...
I know, but also, this is
weird.
less convenient than a cell phone.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, like, oh yeah.
Find my eye chosen.
Find my eye chosen. Monkey, that is very funny.
That's what we need with the shirt, and we'll have the box on it.
Robin Sos 79 says, just did a quick
you.
Wikipedia search for Orange Shirt Day. That is horrifying. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Yes. Hopefully this helps a little bit. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you for donating. It means a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is very horrifying.
Yeah.
And there's a lot that needs to be answered for.
Yes.
But we are going to do what we can to benefit the situation as much as we, as we as a community can. And thank you so much to everyone who's donated.
Yes, exactly.
That's what Samael wanted Savannah to think.
Wait, what? What was what he wanted her to think? That it was too convenient?
Yeah. People are saying back in the 90s cell phones were different. No, that is very true. It is very funny.
Yeah.
It's just funny that they would have... It is funny that they would have cell phones that only certain people can use.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, call boxes. Yeah. I'm assuming they can do other things. Like, I'm assuming that they actually, depending on how you weave into them, they do different things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It would be like a lot, like, for, it would be like a lot, I feel like, for it to have that one function.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, it would be like a big, like, why, like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it has to do more. There has to be more to it, right?
Yeah, because otherwise they're just like, they're weirdly inconvenient items to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially just with how many other ways they have to teleport to each other and talk to each other. A box that all it can do is send messages. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, no, there's definitely more there for sure.
Yeah, and I'm excited to get into more about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Savannah is like, yo.
God, I wish I had a chair. Because she's not a fucking IEL. But it's fine.
Samael basically wants Rand, and Savannah's like, I'm gonna get him. And Samael's like, okay, well, fucking tell me when you do. Like, why'd you call me here? I'm surprised Samael didn't just straight up wipe them off the face of the earth for wasting his time.
Chaos.
Yeah.
Having Savannah going around fucking shit up probably helps him.
But he does give them a terangrial so that they can travel.
Yeah.
Why do you think he doesn't just teach them how to travel? They have the ability to channel.
Because that's something that they can pass on to other people, right? Like, I think that Masana... it was Masana who taught Alviarin, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Her, like, that was, like, a big risk, I think, teaching her how to do it, because now she can teach other people, technically. Whereas I think he trusts way less and gives them a thing to help do it, but that they can't, like, just go around telling everybody else how to do it. And, like, fuck around, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. But yeah, this is interesting because I thought that the box was the thing that was going to control Rand, but it's not, right? The box was to contract Samael.
Yes.
What do you think is the item that's going to control Rand? And is my boy ship captain in danger? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Samael's here and he's like, I will bring you an item. I don't have it yet, but I'll bring it to you. Mm-hmm. Is my boy ship captain in danger?
Maybe.
Y'all stop posting spoilers.
Guys, come on.
Nar.
Oh, is it not recording anymore?
No, but it's about to be. We're running out of storage space. Okay, talk about this while I delete stuff.
Yep, that's fair.
Before bad things happen.
Did you empty out the recycling bin last night when you deleted stuff? Okay.
I think all of this can go.
Great. Delete. Guys, we need a bigger hard drive. Yeah, I think it's the, like, male Adam. I think it'd be weird if they introduced another item that can also do this thing. It would just, I don't know, it would kind of seem... I think it would take away the significance of the male Adam. And so I definitely think that's what it is.
I'm worried about my boy ship captain now, right?
Yeah.
We don't need, we're good on hard drives. We just actually need a new cable to plug in our bigger hard drive because we have a bigger hard drive. It's just not plugged in because our SATA cable is broken.
Oh, right. That one cable didn't work when we tried to install the new hard drive. I forgot about that.
We have a hard drive. It's actually in the computer.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
We just forgot to buy the cable for it.
No, I think that what you're saying is true, right? I think that what you're saying is right. I'm just really worried about Ship Captain. This line made me so worried about Igyanin and Ship Captain because we haven't seen them in 3 books.
Yeah, I know.
And, like, I loved Igyanin in Ship Captain, and I liked their relationship, and I was really, I'm nervous about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. And I don't think Ship Captain shows up in this book, but I'm hoping next book. Like, that seems like a next book problem.
Robert Power says, also, side note, Samael couldn't teach the wise ones how to travel even if he wanted to. Yeah, but Grendel can, right? She's there. Because he's with Grendel.
Yeah.
Who now works for Samael because he said that he's going to be the nipples. And I'm like, why does she believe him?
Yeah, I don't know. She must have some reason to.
Yeah.
Like, I thought she was going to be far more skeptical, but she kind of just, like, accepted it right away, which I was surprised, but...
So then, Samael also says he's going to provide something that, he's willing to supply something that will control Aes Sedai as well. And Savannah's like, I'm going to use it to control my wise ones, but they don't know yet.
Savannah's just a fucking
I know.
ass.
She's the actual cockroach on this series.
Yeah.
She won't die.
She no matter how many times you try to step on her.
So, we cut to a stranger's point of view.
Uh-huh.
And he watches Samael and Grendel leave.
Yeah.
Grendel gets really upset that Samael keeps calling her Masia, and I don't know what that's about.
Maybe that's her, like,
real name.
Old name, yeah.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
Samael keeps calling himself the Nipples.
Yep.
So they leave. And who is this guy?
So at first I thought it might have been Shadar Haran when I read it.
Oh, interesting.
When I read it. Now I wonder if it's the guy who has...
Moradin?
Moradin, that's it. Yeah, now I wonder if it was Moradin.
I think it's Moradin. I think that makes more sense. I think that they're introducing him as the, like, Nipples. He's the actual Nipples?
He's the actual Nipples. Because we learn about something now called...
Moradin, the actual Nipples.
I can't. Oh my god.
Ooh,
so,
Ember Eye says Slayer. Slayer might be a good one too.
What if Slayer is... I don't remember. No, Slayer looks like Lan's ancestor, not...
Yeah, it's Lan's uncle, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Slayer's the guy who betrayed Malkier to the dark.
Yeah. Right. Okay. But yeah, so we learn about something called the True Source. With the actual nipples.
Yeah, there is a third magical power.
Yep.
How do you feel about this?
Of course there is. I don't know. I don't think this is really necessary at this point.
I don't either.
But I'm assuming it will be.
My problem with it is it's like a little late.
Yeah.
For this to have never... And this book has a couple of these things that I think it's a little late. Oh, the thing about Cat Swain that we never brought up.
What?
That I think is weird. Cat Swain says that she was at the taking of Logain and Mazrim Taim, and it's never brought up in earlier books.
Oh, that nobody talked about her being there?
And so this book 7 is starting to introduce things that I really feel like should have been established already. And I don't know how I feel about it, right? Because, like, if Cat Swain was there when Logain was taken and was there when Mazrim Taim was taken, all of these Aes Sedai should be like, oh yeah, Cat Swain's alive. People saw her 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but everybody thought she was dead.
But everyone thought she was dead. And I found that strange to me. Like, I felt her being like, yeah. Well, I was like, what do you mean Cat Swain was there?
Yeah.
Berserker says, well, we never saw those things happen either. Yes, but
everybody like shits their pants when Cat Swain is around, and so you would think that it had come up in some way.
There would be rumors of everyone seeing her.
Yeah, like
the way that
reason...
rumors pass in this world.
Yeah,
Cat Swain being there when Logain was taken.
Nobody would think she was dead.
Everyone would have heard of that.
Yeah,
right?
Mazrim Taim wasn't that long ago, and if so she was there, the Aes Sedai would all know that she's alive. And they would be talking about it. It is weird that they think that she was dead for no reason. I don't know.
Terrence says maybe she was using a mirror of mists. Why, though? Cat Swain doesn't want to be... Cat Swain isn't pretending to be dead. Like, Cat Swain is genuinely never pretending to be dead. In fact, she's so upset that people keep asking her how she's alive.
Yeah.
She's literally like, if the next person who asks me how I'm alive...
Yeah.
will be thumped. Like, she's not hiding. And so it's just weird that she was at these two very important events that a bunch of people were at that we've met, and none of them were like, yeah, we saw Cat Swain. It was strange. She just showed up. Like, that would be news.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Christian Rapper says, I think that Cat Swain is a late addition and got retconned in. Here's the thing. She didn't need to be retconned into the Logain Mazrim Tame stuff. There was just no reason to retcon her into those events.
At least that we know of right now.
Right? She just didn't need to be there. It doesn't change who she is. It doesn't change moving forward. It doesn't actually provide us much information about her other than that was what excited her. But the same text could have been, I heard about Logain and Mazrim Tame, but I deep down knew they weren't the Dragon Reborn. You are, and that's what brought me out of my retirement. Right? Like, that sentence would have made more sense to what we'd already read than this sentence, which is like, oh no, Cat Swain was there, but nobody talks about it. Yeah. Everyone forgets that she was there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder if we're going to get, like, reasoning or justification for it later, but at this point in time, like, stopping at this point in the reading, it does feel a little strange. Unless she was there disguised for some reason or another, or, like, worked from the shadows in the same way that, like, Mogideon does, but Cat Swain does not feel anything like Mogideon. Like, Cat Swain is, like, frontline, like, kicking ass, it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, she cannot stay away.
Cat Swain does not strike me as the kind of person that doesn't stroll in and run this shit. Yeah. Like, she would have put herself in charge. I don't buy that she wouldn't be in charge.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't buy that.
Yeah.
And so it's weird that she was retconned into those encounters unnecessarily, in my opinion.
At this moment in time, yes, unnecessarily. Maybe we don't know. But, like, it is what it is.
So, so getting to the true power.
Yeah.
I don't hate the idea of the true power, except that I don't know how I feel about it yet. I think that once there's more about it, that could change. Yeah. Right now, it feels unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know why. And, like, it's just, like... It's like everybody seems to be, like, putting down, like, the biggest trump card. Like, you know, like, way back when it was Kalendor, right? Yeah. And then it was, like, this huge, big, powerful Terangrial.
Remember when Kalendor was a thing?
Yeah, Kalendor
that was books ago.
Is a thing.
This series has real power creep problems.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There's always, like, a bigger thing, right? Yeah. There's those, like, big orbs that were being, like, excavated, and now there's, like, now we have a huge army of male channelers, and now there's this box, and now there's this other box that Mogideon has, and now we have a, like, true source instead of, like, yeah. It's just, it is interesting. There's always a bigger dick, it seems like.
Yeah, and the series is getting into, like, yeah. I do wish that we could maybe understand the stuff that we have before we get a new thing. Yeah. But this series likes to introduce new things rather than explain old things. Yes. And I'm like, is the mind trap gonna matter? I don't actually know. Yeah. Like,
I don't know either.
So in this next section, I think it's the next chapter, maybe it's not.
Before we move on, guys, there's a lot of messages being deleted.
Please be careful with spoilers.
No spoilers. We have talked about this before as well. If there's things that are mentioned, you guys get the privilege of, like, re-noticing them on a read-through, so please allow us that privilege as well. You know, we don't always catch everything on our first time through, and I think that there's a real joy in being able to go back to a series and picking up on the things that you missed out. So please listen to the mods and do not try to explain or spoil anything that we don't know.
Yeah, this is not the definitive Wheel of Time podcast. This is our first read-through podcast. Yes. And so we're going to give that opinion. We're not trying to, like, get it right.
Yeah.
Because it's subjective and there's
getting
no getting
it right. Is boring.
I you know, that's how I feel about it. Yeah. But thank you to our mods for the work that you're doing. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys. It means a lot.
All right, so chapter 21, Suave and Night. We will get to Mogideon in a bit. We will. Are we still in the first hour? We are. Oh, okay. We're doing well.
We're doing okay, guys.
We're doing okay.
We've done worse.
Look at us go. So Matt's getting attacked left, right, and center. He's just kind of, like, going through. Everybody's wearing bird masks.
Yeah, this is a fun ritual.
I dig it. I love
Holiday.
it. A citywide masquerade.
Yeah.
Masquerade!
I would go to that.
Paper faces on parade.
Party? I
Masquerade.
that seems fun.
Hide your face. Sad to hear Phantom's closing on Broadway, y'all.
That is a true tragedy.
It's bad for business. That's a longer conversation than I'm willing to have here.
Yeah.
But God, I hope Broadway doesn't die.
Wow.
So he goes home to the inn, and he. Sai says Seasting says I pictured it like Mardi Gras. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of
I
my
need to
first
take
thought.
you to Mardi Gras.
I've never been.
We have to go. It's fucking amazing.
Where?
New Orleans.
Sure. No.
It is.
When is it?
When is Mardi Gras? We have to go. No, you don't know. It is unreal. It is one of the wildest. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mardi Gras it's in I know it's in the spring, but
I don't know. March?
Mardi Gras in New Orleans, y'all, if you've never been, the only thing that's close to Mardi Gras in New Orleans is Halloween in Tokyo. Like, those two are... there's nothing like it. It's so freaking cool.
Wait, so New Orleans must be warm then?
Yeah.
Okay.
New Orleans is hot.
Because, like, here, like, March is still winter.
No. Everybody's tits are out for Mardi Gras.
All right, I'm going. I'm going.
Hot.
Guys.
It is very hot.
Going to Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras is 7 weeks before Easter. Okay, yeah. No,
gotcha.
we should go.
That would be fun. I'd be down.
We'll convince my mom would come with us. She would love to go to Mardi Gras. My mom loves New Orleans. My mom grew up in the South, and we have family in New Orleans, so it's like...
Oh, gotcha.
You know, it's a little bit personal.
Very cool. All right.
Yeah.
That would be a party. I'm down.
Matt keeps getting attacked, and he goes back to his room, and he's like, God, what's going on? He's got dice in his head. He's like freaking out a little bit.
Rattling around.
And then he runs into Brigitte, and his brain, I imagine it's like Chuck. I don't know if you guys ever watched Chuck, but Chuck has the intersect in his head where he would look at things and he'd be reminded of things. Mm-hmm. Matt is the Chuck of this universe.
All right.
And so he sees Brigitte, and he's like, oh my God, Brigitte.
It's Brigitte. When I blew the horn, you showed up. We actually got like 2 little flashbacks in this section, which I actually found really nice because we have read so many words between then and now. It is nice to have that reminder. And so Matt is like, wait a second, I know who you are. Yeah. And Brigitte's like, yeah, I thought you might. I thought this might happen.
Ranton Moore says Chuck reactions when. Unfortunately, I have watched that show more times than I could possibly count, so I don't think I could react to it, because at this point I'd be like, so then he's about to say this, and then she's about to say this, and then Evan DeSora. If they make that Chuck movie, though, we will react to it. What language do we speak? Horn Sounder. This is one of my top 5 favorite chapters with my 2 favorite characters. Love it so much. Evan DeSora, I agree.
I love this. Welcome back to the Nerd Table for 6 months. This section was great.
Anything to party with Brigitte and Matt.
Right?
That sounds... I would die. Like, I would end up in the hospital with
they both have a hollow
poisoning.
leg. Yeah.
I can't drink anymore because my stomach is messed up, but I would still do it for them.
You know what? That's brave of you.
I just wish I was uglier so that Brigitte would be attracted to me. Like, I feel like I'm not, like, the most attractive man, but I feel like I'm more attractive than Brigitte's taste, you know?
You're very attractive.
Yeah, but I'm like a 6, you know what I mean? And she's looking for like a 3.
Sure, yeah, okay.
You know?
Sure. Whatever
I think I'm
say.
a solid 6.
All right.
I'm a New York 3, but...
Wow.
You know, that's fine. I still did well. I'm
a New York 3. I can't. Yeah, no, you're way too hot for Brigitte. But that's fine. Could get her.
That's a shirt. I'm too hot for Brigitte.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a great shirt.
I actually kind of love that.
Yeah. Or like, I'm too pretty for Brigitte because she doesn't like pretty men.
Yeah, it's true. Nerdy is a Canada 9. That's not true. Canadians are very attractive people. Ryan Reynolds. Okay.
One Canadian.
What? He sets the bar. Oh, that's the bell curve.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how bell curves work.
Me neither.
I've never had to deal with one in my entire life. And so that's probably not correct.
Welcome back to the nerd table.
So, Matt and Brigitte agree to keep each other's secrets, and they do what all bros do.
And they go drinking. Yes.
And I love their relationship. I think it's really cute.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I honestly can't believe I didn't think about how the two of them would get on before, because Brigitte has seen the ages pass and Matt has all these memories. Like, I was like, why did I not think that they would be like BFFs, you know?
Yeah, it is.
They're also both very lewd.
They are the perfect pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kyle Franson said, did Nerdy do a reaction to the new Deadpool 3 commercial? I did, over on my channel, not on Nerdy Nightly. It's over on Nerdy, my personal channel. If you go onto the YouTube channel, you scroll down to Nerdy. If you guys want to subscribe to that channel, I'd appreciate it. I'm at like 320 subscribers over there. I'd love to get that channel to 1,000 like this one and get it partnered.
Yeah.
I'm going to start posting more there now that we've calmed down a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or like Monkey, if you could drop that link in chat. If people want to go subscribe to my personal channel, I would really appreciate it, because I'm going to start making more content over there, including maybe some Wheel of Time stuff. So keep an eye out for that.
Oh, wow.
I have some plans.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to do more like interesting edited content that's not reaction stuff over there. So yeah. So they go drinking, and the other girls just kind of they're sitting waiting for Brigitte, and I'm like, why?
I don't know. They decided to do nothing until Brigitte got back.
I know, but I thought it was so funny that there's this whole. Thank you, Monkey. There's the link if anyone wants to subscribe to my personal channel.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just found it I found it really funny that they're all just kind of like, where is she, for like hours.
Yeah.
They
just sit there and they wait.
Matt and Brigitte drink until like 2:00 in the morning, at least 2, right? And the 5 of them are just sitting in that room like, ba da 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 ba da. Yeah. And I was reading this and I just started to cackle. I was like, guys, she'll show up when she shows up. Shit.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, they just it was just so sad. I was like, guys, come on. Like, I don't know, play like a card game or some shit. Like,
just do something.
Yeah. Oh my God.
They're just like bored for hours.
It's what like those men think that like women do, like waiting for them to come home. They just sit there and they're like, wow, gosh, I wish my man was home so I could do things. It's like, guys, do something, literally anything, please, dear God.
Yeah, Robert Power brings up, Elaine starts dancing to music that she can't hear, which I'm like, people are worried about Rand. Elaine's losing it.
No, I do that all the time.
Elaine has touched too many taints, y'all.
Wow. I dance all the time to no music, so I relate to Elaine.
Mitsurugi says, wait, I thought they said why the girls are waiting. No, they're waiting to find out if Matt is going to show up in the morning.
Yeah.
But they could just go to bed, wake up, and find out in the morning if Matt is coming. Like, Brigitte bringing them the knowledge doesn't change the situation for them at all.
Yeah.
So they could have just gone to sleep.
Yeah.
But they choose not to go to sleep, and I find it strange. The thing that I do love about it is that Brigitte gets drunk, so Elaine gets tipsy.
Yes.
And that's not how the bond is supposed to work, but because she's a woman, they think that they have a different bond.
It's like too close, too similar, I think. Yeah.
Which means that when Elaine and Rand finally have sex, Brigitte's reaction is the only thing I care about.
Yeah, can we please get that from Brigitte's perspective?
Oh my God, it's gonna be Brigitte in a bar somewhere. It's gonna be. Have you seen When Harry Met Sally?
Yes.
When she's like having the orgasm at the table, that one's fake. But Brigitte's gonna be having that moment, but in real life.
Oh my God, poor Brigitte. That would be awkward.
Brigitte is gonna be the girl who is walking around with vibrating panties on at all times. You know what I mean?
Because of the bond?
Yeah.
Oh my God, poor Brigitte.
Yeah.
That's awful. Oh my, wow.
I don't know. Brigitte seems like the kind of person who will think that it's fun.
Here's the thing. Brigitte can pull anyone, right? Brigitte can be like, all right, Elaine is fucking right now. I need to find somebody else. So they get the feeling of them having sex, but also the bond having sex, and it's like double the fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
That's the smut corner for this week. Double the fun.
Yeah. If only Oliver was older and they could like have a foursome in separate rooms, but like the girls, their orgasms are built up to each other, like because they would benefit each other's pleasure.
Yeah.
So everything would be like double stimulation for both of them. It just seems like they get the best of both worlds.
Here's the thing. I don't actually think Over is Gaidal anymore.
You don't?
No, because...
I'm 100% on that train because you convinced me.
Well, but the thing is, like you said, the books are moving too slow. Like, I feel like we would never get...
I don't think we are going to get there. I think Brigitte's going to realize it, and Brigitte's going to, like, dedicate herself to protecting Oliver. But I don't think they're going to have a sexual relationship.
Oh.
But I think that she's going to die protecting Oliver, knowing that was the last time she was going to see him. I think it's going to be real. It's going to rip your heart out.
Oh, I see.
That she never got to see him become a man one last time. But she will protect him to the end.
Wow. God damn. All right.
Oh, no, I don't think Oliver's going to grow up.
Punch me in the gut, why don't you?
Or they're going to go through a Terangrial, and Oliver's going to come out the other side 27. You know what I mean? No, but seriously, I'm not joking. Like, this is the kind of world where they're going to be like, we aged him up.
Yeah.
Renesmee aged really fast so that her and Jacob's relationship was not weird.
Yeah. Not weird. So not weird. Anyways.
You named her after the Loch Ness Monster?
Yep.
Oh, that's the best part in that whole movie.
There's not many good parts, so it's not hard.
Yeah, no, I genuinely think that, like, if there's going to be a sexual relationship between Oliver and Brigitte, it'll be because there is some sort of magic moment that Oliver becomes an adult in.
Right.
That's the only, because otherwise...
He won't grow up.
Otherwise, Brigitte, and if he is Gaidal, their relationship will be her realizing that it's her love.
Yeah.
Acknowledging that he's a child, but, like, being there for him in a different way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. We also find out that Aviendha has taken off the bracelet that Rand gave her.
Oh my god. Wait, no. Wait. Sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. No, but the bubble things, the bubble dimensions.
Yes.
They literally, in the morning, we're going to get to Gideon chapter.
Yeah.
But Oliver's going to get popped into one of those bubbles. He's going to live there for like a month, and he's going to come out the other side a full-grown man.
Oh, wow. That's awful.
Right?
Oh my god.
What if like Rand throws his 3 pregnant women into one of those bubbles and they come out with children who are like 20?
No.
Time passes so that they can like grow up?
No.
But time passes differently in the bubble places?
Awful.
Vacuoles. Aren't those like part of the cell? Aren't those like next to the powerhouse of the cell?
There is a vacuole is an actual thing. I don't know why they're called that. But yeah, because time moves differently inside those bubbles, I hate that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Anything can happen here.
They could raise an entire army in days. They go into a vacuole and just start pumping out babies.
Oh my god.
That's awful. That is horrifying.
Yeah. That's going to be a no for me. So Aviendha's not wearing the bracelet until Elaine gets one. I also wrote down here that Aviendha and Elaine should have just fucked at this point.
I think they have.
No, I mean, like, they're waiting for Brigitte to come back. It's like, okay, well...
Oh, they should. That's what they should have been doing right now.
Yeah, they should have been learning, right?
For sure.
So that when the 4 of them all come together, they come together.
So then we get into character growth by force.
The Clone Wars was a vacuum.
We'll call the vacuole Topeka City.
No. Nope.
Omega.
No.
So Aviendha Brigitte comes back. And they're like, she goes into her bedroom and dumps a bucket of water on herself.
As you do, yeah.
And then when she's nice and wet, she comes back into the room and she goes, hey guys. And they're like, hey, are you going to, is Matt coming tomorrow? And she's like, I don't know, maybe.
He wants an apology.
An apology. And then Brigitte and Aviendha teach Nynaeve and Elaine how to be decent people.
Yeah.
By demanding that they just be decent, regular human beings.
Well, because Brigitte is like, so, like, I heard that, like, he rescued you from the Forsaken and you attacked him.
No. She's like, I heard that he rescued you from, that he went in to rescue you from a castle and you weren't grateful.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but, like, had kind of already gotten out anyway. And, like, whatever, the Forsaken were there. And Brigitte and Aviendha are like, wait, he went into a castle that the Forsaken were in to save you, and you were mad at him?
Yeah, Aviendha's like, wow, you have a lot of toe.
Yeah, and
you have much toe.
Brigitte and Aviendha rational human beings look at them and are like, the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, you definitely owe a lot of apologies.
And Elaine, thank God, goes, oh yeah, you're right. No, you know what? You are right. And Nynaeve goes,
yes, she literally stomps her feet and cries about it. It's like, I will not apologize. I was like, okay, oh my God, just
everyone in this scene is being so rational, and Nynaeve is behaving like a fucking child.
I know. I was like, you get your shit together.
Nynaeve needs to get out of puberty fast.
Yeah.
This was...
I won't apologize.
Oh
no,
my God.
You can't make me. I'm pretty sure I did that when I was 7, 8, maybe?
This is one of those moments, though, where I genuinely don't see this happening on the show. I don't see that actress playing Nynaeve doing this.
Start making voices and screaming that she was not going to apologize. Yeah,
oh my God,
I can't see that they keep that
miserable.
in. I can't see that they would keep that in.
It's it made me think that Nynaeve is the worst person.
Here's the problem is that sometimes she is.
Yeah.
And sometimes she's great, but God, sometimes she's the absolute worst.
Nynaeve just reminds me of a 15-year-old girl who's in her goth emo phase so often.
Yeah.
And then when she's with Lan, she's an adult. But then with everyone else, I really do this is not that hard.
Yeah.
And these two people are offering you, they're not even telling you to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, you should thank him
and apologize
for putting his life in danger for you. Whether or not he saved you, he broke into a castle where the literal right hand of the devil was to save you.
Yeah.
He should, because if he had died doing that, you would consider him a hero.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it just, I really hated this moment.
Yeah.
It made me think that, it just made me think that Nynaeve at times is used by Robert Jordan for comedy in ways that are really detrimental to her character.
Yeah, because we had made progress with her. Right? There are things that we're oh, thank God, Nynaeve is kind of coming around. And then she does shit like this, and I'm like, oh, it's just so cringy.
Light Blinded Fool says, wait, how did he break into that castle again? With bullshit, okay? He broke in with a bunch of bullshit. And I still like Nynaeve. I think that she's fun, but this is one of those moments where I was like, fuck off. Just look, I get it. You hate taking advice from men, but these are two women who I think that you respect.
Yeah.
Telling you to just say thank you. It's the easiest shit in the world. And she's like, I will not apologize to him.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Cartman from South Park sometimes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, anyway. She ultimately agrees, kind of. She doesn't really, but Elaine does because Elaine wants Avienda to respect her, which is kind of it's not about Matt at all, which kind of sucks. It's about Avienda.
But we do get some moments in her head where she's she understands, she gets it even if she doesn't want to admit it,
Yeah.
It's, yeah. Matt saved their ass, and Brigitte didn't even get the whole story, and she was like, you should apologize. And it's okay, no, you guys, really need to apologize.
Yeah, and they do. I don't know that everything else they agreed to was necessarily necessary, but I think it was smart for them to have bodyguards. Granted, it does get 4 of them killed, but we'll get to that.
True, yeah.
And so Avienda is you have toe to Matt.
Yeah.
It feels like this show's been on for 2 hours. We're only an hour in. We're doing good.
Yeah.
I feel like we're behind, but we're actually on track.
No, we've covered a lot. Yeah. This is good.
We're doing a good job here. And I feel like we haven't missed anything. Chat will disagree and say we've missed a lot, but I feel like we've been doing good.
We always miss something, but that's why we do the full book recap.
Yes. This is chapter 22, Samantha A. Small Sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
This is the beginning of some stuff that I think is very dumb. But let's get into it.
Okay.
I hate a lot of what's about to happen.
Really?
I think it's so fucking stupid. I think a lot of characters in the next section behave absolutely insanely.
Great.
And I don't get it at all.
Uh-huh. Okay.
3 chapters in 1 hour, that's doing good. Yeah, Wheel of Time, are you new here?
Yeah. Have you been here?
Remember when it took us an hour and 20 minutes to get through a prologue one time?
It's true. You're not wrong.
This is not a tight show. But we love it. Yeah. Elaine and Nynaeve go to the Wandering Woman. And he's sleeping, and Elaine is like, I could take that necklace off of him right now. And I'm like, Elaine,
she doesn't.
You are here to apologize.
Yes, but she doesn't do it. She's like, no, that's the wrong thing to do. What?
Wait, what, Rantel Moore?
What?
Apparently they announced a Community movie? Here, you talk about what's going on here. I need to look this up.
What? Thanks, guys. Oh, great.
6 seasons in a movie! I love Community, okay? Get off my dick. I love that show. A Community movie is so exciting.
I've heard it's good.
Oh my god. It's gonna be on Peacock? Well, at least we can react to it.
That's true, yeah. I've never seen Community.
I've seen one. I saw the pilot of Community. Now let me pop. All 6 seasons in a movie. Let's go. Sorry, guys. I know that we're here to talk Wheel of Time, but that is like literally so exciting. I love that. That show meant a lot to me for a long time. Very special. Very special.
I love that.
Oh my god. Now I want to play paintball. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know it.
So Elaine and Nynaeve. Hilarious. It's hilarious that it's Peacock just because that show, I think it was what, NBC, then Yahoo, then that show has literally been on every possible service.
Yeah.
Try and Abed in a movie. Fuck yes. Okay, sorry. I hope Donald Glover comes back for it. Anyway, we need to get back into Wheel of Time. I could talk about Community for the next hour and a half. So he wakes up and he's like, and then they apologize and he's like, okay, thanks, bye.
He's like, I have a hangover, get out.
And they're like, ah!
What?
Internally, the girls, when he doesn't accept their apology gracefully enough, they freak out internally.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
That's not the point of the apology. It's not about what he says. It's about what you do. I cannot believe we're 7 books into this series and our main characters are learning how to apologize.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Elaine's going to be a great queen. She's going to be awesome at it.
Nobody knows how to use... Okay, Elaine, I think she is.
Maybe in 10 years.
No, I think she is.
Right now, I think she'd be terrible. She's too up her own ass. And we'll get to the next time she's up her own ass. That proves to me that she's not ready to be queen yet.
What do you mean?
She's not ready to be queen yet.
I think we disagree.
She only makes good decisions because Aviendha tells her to. That's not a person who's ready to be a good queen.
What do you mean she only makes good decisions because Aviendha tells her to?
She only makes good decisions because Aviendha tells her to. That is Elaine right now. She literally is here apologizing and thanking Matt because Aviendha tells her to. Yeah. And then and maybe it's Birgitte the second time, but when Matt shows up and he's like, I found the bowl, and she's like, oh, no, it's fine, we already did that. And then Birgitte, or maybe it's Birgitte that looks at her and is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Does someone look? I thought she, realized.
No, she literally realizes the disapproval on Birgitte's face. And she's like, oh, I should change my behavior. She literally needs to have someone in the room for her who is disapproving of her decisions in order for her to make good decisions.
I didn't realize.
She is not ready.
I didn't realize she saw. I think there's a lot of ways in which she is ready and she is really good at it.
No. She literally looks at Birgitte and Birgitte is like, what the fuck are you doing? And she's like, oh, right. I need to behave better.
I missed that look, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's 100% there. And I was like, fuck, Elaine, come on.
Yeah.
She's not ready to be queen. If you need to have a woman in the room looking disapprovingly at you for you to be kind to someone who did the job that you asked them to do, you're not ready to be queen.
To be fair, she's 18, so yeah, she should get some more experience first. But
100%, but
she's Morghese makes it.
Technically queen. No, it doesn't matter. She's queen now. We'll get to that.
Well,
but she's queen now.
True. You know what? You're not wrong.
Nobody knows, but we do. So they apologize to him. Elaine tells him about the bowl. And that he's going to move into the palace. And he's like, fuck that. And they're like, okay, well, we'll make all these promises, but you're moving into the palace. And he's like, God damn it.
Compromise.
I don't want to.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, and the dice stop rolling. So
yeah,
I wonder why.
They leave Matt, who agrees, but is kind of pissed about it. Mm-hmm. And they run into Setala Anan. Cetal Anin. Cetally Anin.
Great pronunciation.
Well, how the fuck would you pronounce this S name? Another goddamn S name.
I know. But yeah, Anan, I don't know.
Setla Cetala
Satil.
And she's like, how dare you pretend to be Aes Sedai? I'm going to take you to people who can help you. And they're like, no, we are Aes Sedai.
No, we're Aes Sedai. And she's like, haha, you idiots. You're not Aes Sedai. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
I like Mike Kioski's Siddly Diddly.
Oh, man. Yeah, this was, like, strange to me. Obviously, like, she's going to be an important character because she knows way more about Aes Sedai than she should.
Yeah, she's coming back, for sure.
Yeah.
She has an S name. She's going to be in every chapter so that I don't know who we're talking about.
Correct.
Scallops Anin! Yes, Project Myrtle. So this gets into a sequence of events of characters going, no, you're not Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
There's no reason for them to not believe them.
Well,
other than you're young.
Yeah, they don't have the ageless faces.
Oh, 100%. I get that. Mm-hmm. My problem with it is even if you believe that, if you're wrong, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And all of these characters in these next two chapters behave as if being wrong has no consequences when it does.
Yeah.
And Cetal, by being wrong and not for one moment thinking that she could be, causes the kin to be found out. The kin letting Egwene and Elaine go, or Nynaeve and Elaine, sorry, because there's no possible way they could be Aes Sedai. They're fucked. And granted, it ends up benefiting them in the end. Like, it all works out.
Sure, yeah.
But this whole time I was like, really? You're gonna... And even one of the kin is like, are we 100% sure? And the woman's like,
Miranda's like, oh no, whatever, it's fine. And they're like, I mean, there are rumors about the young Amyrlin and whatever. And she's like, no, fuck it, whatever. I was like, okay.
And I was like, if you guys are so careful, because they keep being like, we're so careful. I'm like, you're not that careful.
Here's the thing, this literally...
You reveal everything.
This literally could have been solved by Anan going to Matt and being like, do you know these girls?
Seriously. Stella, whatever her name is,
Satil?
Could have just been like, hey, are they Aes Sedai? And Matt would have been like, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they all really fucked up this one.
It was just one of those. It was just one of the. Reading this whole sequence, I just got to the point where I was like, fuck off. Are we really going with this? And then the women should be able to see how strong Nynaeve and Elaine are, because they're supposed to be like two of the strongest in generations.
Yeah. And
so if the women can sense the power of the two of them, the idea that they wouldn't be able to be like, oh, Nynaeve is the strongest person possible.
When she's angry, yeah.
No, but her connection to Saidar is...
But I don't think you can feel...
No, they can see how powerful each other are when they're not channeling.
No, not when you're not channeling, but if Nynaeve is angry, does she give off the vibes? Does she pass
must,
the vibe
right?
check?
Spacey, thank you for that super chat. You're
Thank
wrong here.
Super
Kin have caught
chat.
hundreds of runaways and castaways. Elaine and Nynaeve look like two of dozens.
Yeah, but they have
No, but
the
they are
rings.
so powerful. We're talking about two girls who are like... They're
Like,
Superman level Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And the kin must know that the Aes Sedai power structure is based on power.
Yes.
And they catch two people who are as powerful as you can possibly be.
With the rings, with all the knowledge of the tower.
And they're like, we are Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Look at how powerful we... Like, it just... This whole sequence was like, okay.
It was everyone behaving in a way because Matt is Ta'Veren and they needed to find out about the kin.
Yes.
Which, like, fine.
And they reveal so much and then just let them go.
I know.
If they hadn't let them go, I wouldn't have minded so much. But, like, it's the fact that they're just like, all right, bye.
Well...
And I was like, wait, what? Those girls know too much about you now. Like, why would you...
Yeah, but
I was just very confused
they truly believed that they were runaways. And they're like, if you don't leave immediately, you will have the White Cloaks.
But why wouldn't you believe that they would run back to the White Tower and try and use this knowledge to get back in?
Because they would still be punished very severely, even if they were runaways.
Maybe, but like I just feel like they're so careful, but then their actions throughout this whole chapter are the exact opposite of careful. They reveal information unprompted.
Yeah.
They let the girls go with all that information. They make assumptions. And like I keep saying in the series, assumptions are the death of everything. And the kin if Elaine didn't want to bring them into the fold, if Elaine had been part of the White Tower instead of part of the Little Tower, this would have gone completely differently for them, and their assumptions would have gotten them fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. Taviran.
Yeah.
That's literally the explanation for this. But
that explanation.
I know. The characters behave very strangely, and it's
Rihanna is 420 years old.
Yeah.
And she's behaving like an idiot here.
Yeah. Wait, 20 or 12? I can't remember.
I don't know. She's over 400 years old.
Yeah. And they have so many. I love that our reaction to that was caught and posted to how many freaking Aes Sedai there are, because
1,700 of them.
Oh my god. What? That's twice. Literally, I think Elaine says it's twice the size of the tower, pretty much. I was like, they'll maybe be 400. Yeah, no.
Wheel of Time says that's because she's been blazing for 420 years.
Truly.
420 blaze it.
Oh my god.
I don't know. This really didn't work for me. I wish that it did. This whole...
Taviran.
Also, them shielding the girls was aggressive and then letting them go. But Rihanna can feel how powerful she is. Shielding them and then letting them go just feels so dangerous.
Yeah, but she has a talent where when they're shielded...
No, that one girl has the shield talent.
Oh.
Not Rihanna.
Oh.
It's the one who is shielding Nynaeve has the shielding talent.
Right.
Which is why she was on Nynaeve, because she's stronger at shielding.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Nynaeve would have been able to break out and fuck them up.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know. I understand why we introduced the kin. I like it. I think the introduction of the kin is interesting. I just felt like there was so much these adult women just making assumptions and being you're too young to be Aes Sedai, therefore we can tell you all of this information that you need to know because it doesn't matter. And I was like, it kind of does. It does matter that you are revealing all of this to them. It does matter. And also, you captured them, question them. Stop telling them things.
I mean, they did question them.
Kind of, but Nynaeve and Elaine were being honest.
Yeah, but they did question them.
Yeah, but if you don't believe anything somebody says, you're not doing... if you're not even trying to get the truth because you're so caught up in your own assumptions about a situation, then you're doing a bad job of it. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
If you cannot get past your own assumptions to get to the heart of what is going on, you're failing in what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that that's my problem with it, is it's just, this whole scene is just, nothing that is said matters because these women have just made assumptions and whatever, we get back to it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, thank you for that super chat.
Mike Kioski says, you're missing an obvious reason why the girls obviously can't really be full sisters. I said I have a tell. No, but we actually learn about this in this chapter. No, they don't. They have a tell at a certain point.
What? What do you mean?
I said I have a tell at a certain point. But the slowing, we have a name for it. The slowing doesn't happen until you're 25.
Oh, what does that have to do with the tell?
Because the tell is the ageless face thing, but you don't get the ageless face till later.
Oh, I thought he was referring to the Nynaeve bullshit in the show.
Right.
How Morena is the tell?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but logic salt, if the tell is arrogance, Elaine has that in spades.
I thought it was very funny, Mike. Thank you for that super chat. God
damn it, Mike. You're right. That was funny. I just got excited to be able to talk about the slowing. I want to talk about the slowing.
Yes.
Because we do find out, because people told me I was wrong about this, but I'm right about this. The amount of power that you have adjusts how much slowing you get. So, the more powerful you are, the longer you will live. Right?
I believe so, yes.
It is in the chapter.
Or, I don't... Is it the length or what you look like at that age?
No, they say that, the more power you have... Nerdy takes things too literally. Yes, I do. I have a problem with that. I know. I'm very aware.
Yeah.
I do take things too literally. It's literally a...
You're fine.
It's fine. I'm not upset about it. I know that that's true about me.
The aging.
Depending on how much power you have, the more you slow, which is super interesting.
Yeah.
So Rihanna is powerful.
Yes. Well, we did know that because they can sense it.
Yeah, but Rihanna's powerful.
Yeah.
Which means that Nynaeve could live to be 500.
Yeah, probably. She, like, really wants those gray hairs. She's
Crazy.
very upset that no one ever takes her seriously because she looks so young.
Yeah, but here's my problem with that. Nynaeve wants gray hairs because she wants to get respect without earning it. She wants a cheat code on respect.
Yeah.
And that, whatever. Nynaeve's gonna live to be 1,000,000. Fair.
Honestly, at this point, yeah.
I think I'm right about my prediction that I made on the Wheel Reads podcast. Do you remember what it was?
No, which one?
I think, chat, I swear to God, chat, do not fucking answer what I'm about to say. Don't say anything. Keep it to yourselves. Because I don't want to know. My prediction is that the oath rod causes the ageless faces. I said this on the Wheel Reads, remember?
But it doesn't, because Nynaeve already has it.
Nynaeve doesn't have an ageless face. She's not old enough yet. Otherwise, they would think that she's Aes Sedai here. Nynaeve doesn't have an ageless face. She's not old enough.
But she literally says, like, people don't take me seriously because I look too young.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the ageless face look of the Aes Sedai.
Okay.
I think that it's something to do with the oath rod and the 3 oaths that causes the ageless face look that Aes Sedai have.
The wise ones don't have
Because
that.
the wise ones don't have it, the wilders don't have it, the kin don't have it, and the forsaken don't have it. The only people who have ageless, and the Sodam domain, all of the people from Sanchin don't have it. The only channelers that have ageless faces are Aes Sedai of the White Tower specifically.
Right.
The only thing we know about becoming Aes Sedai, now granted, there might be a part of the process of becoming Aes Sedai that causes it that's different from the oath rod, but the only thing we know is that they grab the cock, they swear an oath to the cock, and then they become Aes Sedai.
Masturbating keeps you looking young.
And so I think that it's something to do with the 3 oaths, because Siwan loses, as soon as she's cut off, she loses the ageless face.
She, like, resets back to, like, her actual...
The only thing she's cut off from is her oaths, right? Because when she gets her power back...
She gets the power back.
Doesn't get
her
the ageless
face
face
doesn't
back.
change, but her oaths don't come back, yeah.
So I think that it has to be the oaths because there's just too much evidence. There's something about swearing something on that terangrial that makes their faces that way.
Okay, yeah.
Because literally no one else has it. If Rhianna's 420 years old...
Yeah.
And she does not have an ageless face...
Yeah.
Then it has something to do with the cock.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you did say that. I think that makes sense.
I think I'm right. I really do think I'm right here.
Yeah.
So the kin obviously we don't know they're the kin yet, but we know they're the kin because we read through the...
Yeah, that's fine.
And they send Elaine and Nynaeve away being like, if you ever... Oh, and Sital has walked them to every inn in town so that everyone knows their faces, which is going to be all of those innkeepers who are like, you can't come in here, and they're going to be like, shut up.
Wow. If you ever come back, we'll kill you. Yeah, they basically threaten them with telling the White Cloaks who they are, as well as the Aes Sedai that are in the tower.
Yeah.
Which, obviously the Aes Sedai is not really a threat to them, but the White Cloaks, knowing who they are, is bad. Very
Marisu
bad,
says,
good.
my first boyfriend told me something similar.
Oh my God.
They do say semen is good for your skin. It's a protein mask.
They're going to start selling that at Sephora, I swear.
Yeah, it's going to be the all-natural protein mask.
Organic.
Organic.
Oh my God, I hate it.
Do you think if you eat enough more, like McDonald's, it's not organic anymore? There's too many like chemicals in it.
Your semen?
So Rianne watches the girls leave, and Barrowyn is like, yo, Barrowyn I like a lot. Because Barrowyn, first of all, super shielder, which is a cool gift that
yeah, that's fun.
They're going to need. I can't imagine that's not going to be very important. Barrowyn is going to become full Aes Sedai, and it's going to be very important. Because she's going to be like the only one that can like hold Shadar Huron or something at a later fight.
Yeah, somebody important.
Yeah.
For sure. Yep.
And then Barrowyn's also like, hey, like, they don't sweat. Are we right here?
Yeah.
Like, Barrowyn's the one that's like, I don't
think we
know.
might have fucked up.
And I appreciate Barrowyn for that, because at least someone is using her brain.
Yeah.
So one of the other kin arrives and is like, yo, we found some dead women. We found some dead kin. They were killed by the power. And Rihanna's like, did Nynaeve and Elaine kill some of us?
Yeah, because it was made to look like they were robbed and their throats were cut. However, after investigating, it confirms that they were killed by the power. Wow.
Mitchell, thank you for... Wait, let's just do this live in the show.
Oh my God.
Mitchell, thank you for buying a Nerdy's Right shirt and a dono. That's so kind of you. What's up, my friend? You're live in the Nerdy Wordy Book Club right now for this. Thanks.
It's fine. I feel betrayed, but it's fine.
How do you feel? How do you feel about me being right?
I don't know what that feels like.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Sent.
Hell yeah. Double duty. Let's go.
That's right. If you buy merch on Fourth Wall, you get a unique, one-of-a-kind thank you video from us.
It's not that unique because everyone else just saw it.
Is there a shirt for Clarice is right and Kat Swain is awesome? If she makes one, I'm not going to make that.
I'm going to work on it. Yeah, I'm going to figure it out.
One shirt so far during the episode, okay, Rock Mage? During the episode.
We're working on it.
Also, to all the people who bought beanies, thank you. Like,
yeah.
I thought the beanie was going to be a fun idea that a few people would buy, and so many people have bought a beanie, so thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. That's awesome.
It's really, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. I hope that at JordanCon we can all bring our beanies. It'll be too hot to wear them, but we'll like take a photo with everyone in their beanies. At JordanCon next year.
That would be fun.
Yeah, we'll have a beanie photo. It'll be cool.
It'll really like hot.
It'll be a meeting of the Siswaya mommies. Guys, we're gonna do a panel called the Meeting of the Siswaya Mommies.
Amazing. I love it.
I love Siswaya Mommy. Like, I think it's so
very
funny.
funny. Yeah. I'm into it.
And what beanies? Exactly, Dakuna. Exactly.
Oh my god. So they don't know who killed the person. And it doesn't come back in this section. So I wonder if it's again the Black Aja who are questioning the guild members.
What do you mean?
Remember the two Black Aja that are there because Mogideon has them there trying to find the Terangrials who are torturing and questioning.
No, it is them.
Yeah. So
there's no question. It's the same person's name.
Oh, is it the same name?
Yeah, it's Kayla.
Names.
Callie Torres from Grey's Anatomy was killed by the Black Aja? Oh no, what are we gonna do? No, it's Callie. Yeah, no, it's literally the same person that they're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's gonna come up later. I'm surprised it actually doesn't come up in the chapter with Elaine later. I'm surprised that she's like, did you kill some of our kin members? Because that has to come up between the kin and Elaine at some point.
Yeah,
there are women being killed by the one power.
Some that have died, and hopefully that puts them onto the trail.
Elaine is going to think that it's the ones from the White Tower, and she's not going to think it's Black Aja at first, and then it's going to cause tension. Ooh, I can see that happening. So we cut over to Nynaeve. Oh, Father Jusum, thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Should make a backpack protection from being come upon from behind.
I hate it.
That's very funny.
Oh my god.
So throughout this whole conversation, Elaine is like, we could have been at home sipping blueberry tea, but instead we're being humiliated. And like Elaine will eat those words later because it ends up being important. But I agree with Elaine. Nynaeve, you fucked up here.
Yeah, in that moment, like, and she's so pissed. Mm-hmm. Like, she keeps like looking at her, and Nynaeve is like, whatever, it's fine. I didn't fuck up. I never fuck up. I'm perfect. And I was like,
but Nynaeve's right here, right? Like Nynaeve is, and Elaine and Nynaeve do have like the conversation of like, you know, if this does lead to the bowl, it is because of Matt.
Yep.
Which Elaine forgets about until she's reminded by Brigitte, but they do say that independent of anybody else.
Yes.
They get attacked in the street on the way back to the castle.
They do.
Yeah, and Elaine takes a rock arrow to the head.
Yeah.
How would you shoot a rock arrow?
At close range.
Right? Because here...
unless it's used... Well, no, they would sense the one power.
It depends on how blunt it is.
Yeah.
Or it would have to be small, though, because, like, shooting a rock on the tip of an arrow, you wouldn't be able to shoot it very far with a rock bow.
I mean...
no, but you literally can't, right? Like, you would have to have such good aim, because you would have to shoot it up so that it falls on her. Because if you shoot at her at all, it's just going to hit the ground.
I mean, I don't think they put a rock on top of the arrowhead. I think that the arrowhead was just, like, flat.
Okay.
Because that would be weird.
Okay, that makes sense. See, that makes more sense, because I thought that there was just, like, a rock tied to the arrowhead, and I was like, that's not how rocks work. That's not how, like, arrows can't be heavy on one end.
No, I think it was, like, blunted in a way where it wasn't, like, heavier.
Dakuna, English warbows used to shoot 70-gram arrows that pierced plate mail.
Yes, they wanted
pierced thick pieces of metal.
If they wanted to kill Elaine... They would have just sharpened the arrowhead.
Yes, English warbows did used to shoot 70-gram arrows that knocked men off horses by piercing through metal. Like, I don't think that's what they used here.
So they wanted to knock out Elaine, but like, why? Like for questioning, to sell them to the White Cloaks, to sell them to the Aes Sedai?
I don't know. That is a good question.
I don't actually know who was responsible for this, and I don't think we're gonna find out either. Oh my god, are you guys?
Oh my god, people have bought more Nerdy's Right shirts!
Guys!
Hell yeah!
Alright, I need to... I don't know if I want a shirt that says I shrimp for Kedswain or like Team Kedswain.
Okay, but Melinda got a Narc Smart shirt, a Nerdy's Right shirt, and a beanie.
God damn.
And Kevin Noosa got a Nerdy's Right shirt and a beanie.
Let's
go!
Thanks, guys!
We're not going to film any more live thanks right now, but I promise you will have your personal thank you today.
Yeah.
After we'll record those later.
I will get on it. I'm sorry.
Y'all, thank you so much for supporting my assertion that Kedswain sucks.
Wow. Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Guys, if you have ideas for what you want the shirt to say, you can comment it after the video's done being live, because the live chat will disappear, or in the Discord. Let me know in the Discord.
Tom Maines says blunt weighted arrows and bolts were used to hunt birds and small prey without damaging skin and meat. There's the answer. This is why I ask questions like that on chat, because I did not know that.
That is actually really interesting. I did not know that either.
Yeah.
Nerdy is always wrong shirt. I shack with cats.
A Nerdy is always wrong shirt is probably the most correct shirt that we could make, like the most accurate.
I don't know. I think you've had some good predictions.
I think I nailed it with this one with the 3 oaths ageless face thing. I think I'm 100. I think I've nailed that one. I still think I'm right about Kedswain making it all the way to the end. There's a few predictions I think I've got right.
Okay.
So Nynaeve heals Elaine and they get back to the palace. And I'm very curious what this attack means.
Yeah, because we didn't really get any payoff of it in the rest of the section.
But also, like, Matt is constantly being attacked, and like none of it's explained. So I'm hopeful that in the rest of the book, because next week is the end of the book, y'all. Next week is literally the end of book 7, which is crazy, right?
Yeah, that feels so fast.
I got so used to the 5 and 6 splits that a 4 split has been very fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hall, thank you for that super chat. We're only buying the Nerdy's Right shirt because Nerdy is right. Thank you, Hall. You are correct.
How dare you? How
Nerdy is wrong 87% of the
dare
time.
You?
Fair. Part of the problem is I make predictions as jokes.
Yes.
And so a lot of I do not think that all 3 women are going to find out they're pregnant on the same day.
You said it. You committed.
But that would be very funny if it does happen. It's a much shorter book, to be fair. That is true, Marco.
Yes.
That is true. Chapter 25, A Crown of Swords.
We're on chapter 25?
Yeah.
Oh, there was a note that I wrote down here in chapter 23. There were like tapestries of the 13 sins.
Hot.
And I was like, so if we know what the 7 sins are, what are the other 6? Like the 7 deadly sins, right? Is like a thing from
Yeah.
So
I don't think that means the same thing.
What are there? No, they literally talk about greed and I'm pretty sure envy was one of them. So what are the other 6? I literally was like, where did this come from? These like 13 sins that I've never heard of before.
I don't know. I thought the 13 sins, they mentioned gossip as one.
Yes, gossip was one of them.
Gossip is a good one. If you had to add a sin, gossip is a good one, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
13
it's
sins.
the
13
forsaken and the emotions related to them, I assume. If I could rewind, I really like that.
That would be interesting. Sin number 9, being a woolhead.
Being a woolhead. Oh my God! Wait. Do you think that we could do? Okay, let's go through the Forsaken and try and attribute a sin to them. Because Belthamel is the kink one, right? He's lust.
Yes.
Samael is envy.
Yes.
Mogideon is
cowardice, if that's a sin.
Ooh, cowardice would be interesting.
If that's a sin, if we're like, if we want to count that.
Demandred is pride.
Is Demandred pride?
I would say Demandred's probably pride.
Okay. All right. I could see that.
Landfear is... I don't think Lanfear's jealousy.
You don't?
No.
What else would Lanfear be then?
Cowardice is Asmodean?
Not really.
He wasn't a coward.
Asmodean got stuck exactly where...
Asmodean just wasn't... Oh, no.
He got fucked.
Which one is narcissism?
Is Lanfear?
No, he's Asmodean.
Is Asmodean? Oh, vanity.
Vanity.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Asmodean's vanity, because that's what he cares about.
Yeah.
Balal or Samael would be better for jealousy. But it's not jealousy, it's envy, right?
Envy,
The sin is envy, yeah.
Yes.
No, Samael's definitely envy. Because everything he does is because he's envious of Lews Therin.
Yeah.
Raven is lust. I would have said that. Which one was wearing the kink leather mask in Eye of the World?
Bondage mask.
Interesting.
Maybe that's a masochism.
Vanity could also be Grendel.
Maybe masochism is a sin.
Yeah. I don't know that we'll be able to do this. I feel like I feel like because we only have 7 sins and there are 13 of them. I don't know because I don't know which of the chosen is gossip.
Gossip? Maybe
Raven
Grendel?
is hubris. Raven is hubris. That makes sense.
Grendel could be gossip.
Grendel is gluttony. Ooh, yes.
Yeah,
it's sexual gluttony, but it's gluttony. That's fair.
Yeah.
Raven is greed. Is Raven alive? Raven's dead, right?
Raven's dead, yeah.
Raven's dead. Yeah. There's too many. Asmodean is sloth. I don't picture him as sloth. He doesn't seem lazy.
I mean, I don't think he was really doing much to further his own plans, but who knows?
I think he just wanted to play music, man.
He was a true rock star. Because
we all just want to be big rock stars, living hilltop mansions, driving 15 cars.
It's houses.
Why would it be houses? Why not mansions?
Houses. We've had
Nobody wants to live in a hilltop house. You want to live in a hilltop mansion?
It doesn't matter. Those are the lyrics.
I don't fucking care. It should be mansions. Rock stars don't live in houses. Name one rock star who lives in a house.
I don't know any rock stars.
Exactly. None of them. It's hilltop mansions. And
No, it's not.
I don't care what the actual lyric is. I write better lyrics than they do.
You're wrong. How dare you? Chat will tell me that I'm right.
Why would it be hilltop houses?
That doesn't matter.
Hilltop mansions driving 15. Who has room in a house for 15 cars, Clarus?
It's a big house.
What is the definition of a mansion? A big house.
Okay, but all mansions are also houses.
No. No, they're not. They're mansions.
Yes.
Name one rockstar who lives in a house. Thank you, Rand. Rockstars have sold their soul to the devil? 100%. Have you ever seen Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny?
I will fight you on this till the day I die.
The Demon Lord convince me. Demon Code. So where were we?
Chapter 25.
Chapter 25. Moghedien.
With, yes. Moghedien gets to, gets fucked, basically.
No, she does not.
She goes to...
She wishes.
She goes to, it's not, should, the other SH.
Logic Saul says, the question is, does Clarus have hearing loss in her right ear yet?
No. I'm used to it. You have big lungs, okay?
I do.
It's fine. It's not Shaddai Haran, not the person. The other.
So Moghedien has been trapped in this dream.
Going to
circle
the place.
About how after she was freed by Arangar.
Yes.
She went to Shadar Logoth and.
Shadar Logoth?
Yeah.
Or.
No. To Shaiol Ghul.
Sorry, there's too many SHs.
And she walked down a tunnel that slowly got smaller until it was like scratching her. And
yeah, that was wild.
Then Shadar Haran cut her cheek, and in doing so, put her soul into a Korsavor.
Cut her ear, took some saliva from her tongue.
No, but he like cut along like the Joker. He like cut along the side of her face, right?
I thought he nicked her ear.
I think that he did like that along to her ear. I think it went like that.
Okay. Yeah, took some saliva.
So put her soul in a Korsavor.
Some voodoo ritual.
Which sounds like it's written like an alcohol. It's called like a Korsuver or something. And I was like, oh, that could be a tequila.
Tequila. Oh my God. Yes. Yeah, she does. They do some crazy ritual, and Mogideon recognizes it because she's brought people here, and it's happened to them many, many times.
Yeah, this is a
Korsuvra.
Embrai says, I did not understand the prison thing. Fair.
That's fair.
Oh, it does not cognac. Actually, Mike McGarty's right. It's more of a cognac than a tequila. But yeah, it definitely sounds like something I would have served in my bartending days.
Yeah, this was awful. As horrible as Mogideon is as a person, like, she's done this and she's done far worse to, like, other people, but God, she's screwed. And I won't go as far as to say, like, I feel bad for her, but I wouldn't want to be in her position.
Oh, it's because of Courvoisier. That's the word I was trying to come up with.
Oh,
Bosman.
gosh. Yeah.
Or who said Courvoisier? Clark Klondike. Yeah, it sounds like Courvoisier.
Yeah.
So Mind Trap. This is not my favorite new addition to the world because, like, why aren't they just doing this to everyone?
Because I think it's a lost art. Like, I think Mogideon...
No, but they can just pull people... Like, if they can just kidnap people to Shai Ghul and just mind trap everybody, why don't they do it?
I don't know. We don't know what the consequences of it are yet.
Right? But I'm like, who's going to be mind trapped that we love? Because someone is now.
Yeah. Someone...
Or maybe you have to submit to the Dark One to be mind trapped. Like, maybe they can't pull the soul out of someone in Shai Ghul who isn't committed to the dark.
No, Mogideon said she dragged people there to be.
Yeah, but they might have been dark friends. Like, we don't know that they've mind trapped anyone who wasn't. Like, there might be an element of it that you have to be committed to the darkness already to mind trap them.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Like, maybe like the oaths. Maybe the oaths that they take to the Dark One allow it. Because it, like, opens up that...
Yeah. Chad is also saying, like, in a world where compulsion already exists, there's no reason to really go through the trouble of making the mind trap.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. But then why now? Like, couldn't the like, oh my God. The big bad guy. My brain is broken. Couldn't the Dark One just compel...
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ransomware, thank you for that super chat. There was a theory that for a while that the crystal Matt found in the show was a mind trap. Probably, definitely not. That would be interesting if he found an empty mind trap and that he mind trapped someone later. I don't know if he can do that without channeling, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, this was interesting. I hope that it becomes, like, interesting. Right now, it just kind of is like, okay, yeah. She's already committed her soul to the Dark One. It just felt like it was, like, a commitment on top of a commitment.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a you fucked up and now you're gonna pay for it kind of thing. Not that he needed to mind trap her to make her do what she wanted, but now she has no will of her own or volition. Like she's like she can't do shit. But she's still a servant, so it's but yeah.
It just seems like such a big item to introduce that it really has to, like, there's no way this is, like, the one time this happens.
No, and that's the thing. I think it happens to Mogideon.
I think it's going to happen to, like, Perrin or,
one of our main characters is...
Swan, maybe, like, someone like that.
Yeah. Definitely one of our main characters is going to be mind trapped because they set it up here.
Or they break this mind trap and Mogideon becomes a good person. No. Like, this is not a good person, but, like, she fights for the good side in the end. Like, Mogideon will... that would be interesting. Like, this is so awful that when they save Mogideon from the mind trap, that she is like, fuck the Dark One, and she, like, goes out in a blaze of glory trying to fight against the Dark One. She doesn't... Not that because she believes in goodness, but just she, like, goes against him out of
She dies, like,
revenge.
killing Moradin because it's vengeful. Yeah.
It's not a redemption arc. It's just it's her vengeance arc, and she doesn't give a shit about the Dark One anymore because of this.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
It's possible. But yeah, she is then taken to meet Moradin. We meet Moradin for the first time, even though I think that we actually met him earlier.
You do?
Yeah, I think that he's the one watching Samael and Grendel.
You think that that's him? Yeah. Okay.
And she's like, oh my God, he can use the true power. Okay.
The true source, yeah.
It's the same, but more addictive and eviler.
It's more addictive, and you have to get permission explicitly from the Dark One to be able to use it.
Yes. But it does the same thing.
Well, we don't really know.
But that's my thing with it, is it's like, but we already have magic. Like, what? So what we have, it's just another magic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
It's more better magic.
But also the one power is already so addictive that being like, it's even more addictive is like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's more. It's heroin, but more.
But now it's got what's fentanyl in it, like.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what.
But
it is,
like
right?
literally, and it's weird because I'm like, how can it be more addictive? Like, wouldn't you just keep like pulling from it and pulling from it, and then if the dark one has to give you specific permission to pull it, if he says no,
the one power is already so addictive that people regularly kill themselves using it.
Yeah,
like regularly kill themselves using it. So the idea that they're like, it's more addictive is like, sure. All right. That's meaningless.
If you say so.
When the other addiction is something that people kill themselves for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Being more... like it's infinity plus one. Exactly. It's like...
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Which, fine. I'm sure we'll get more info on that later. But this is where we find out about the vacuoles. Because that's what Mogideon was trapped in.
Do you think that the taint on Sidin is the true power?
And getting rid of the true power gets rid of the taint?
Oh, maybe that's the one. Oh, maybe the men's side of the power is tainted not by like the dark one's taint, but it's
because it's been split up.
Because the true power is like seeping into, has been like connected to Sidin.
Maybe.
But then the dark one's giving all men his power a little bit to drive them crazy. That actually makes sense. That actually does make sense.
Or that the true source was separated from Sidar, and that's why. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's very strange to me.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess it's just like it's more powerful, but like it's just interesting because it's more powerful than a power that we don't understand. Yeah. And this is my problem with not if you want to be like it's more powerful, we have to know what the limits of the first thing are. And we don't, the only limit we know of the one power is that you can't bring people back from the dead. So can the true power bring people back from the dead? Because that's the only way that it could be more powerful.
Right.
Other than it can't be shielded. So no Forsaken can never actually be shielded, which doesn't make sense.
Well, the Forsaken don't use the true source.
Yeah, they do. They can.
I'm sure they could, but they haven't.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe I don't know if people can sense the true source being used. Maybe that's how Asmodean died and nobody felt it.
Oh, Moradin killed... No, it can't be Moradin.
Why?
Because Robert Jordan said that anyone who read the books closely would be able to tell, and Moradin wasn't introduced at that point. So there's no way that... Right. I don't think Robert Jordan was lying.
Right, that's fair. But, it could be someone using the true source so that neither Avienda or Rand felt anyone change.
Although, chat told us that Robert Jordan said that, so that may not be true. They might be fucking with us.
Chat's a liar.
Fuck. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah. We have many questions about the true source.
Also, Mogideon keeps saying, that she's owned now. It's not my favorite language, but,
yeah.
It is what it is. Mogideon, just keeps taking L's.
Yeah.
Just keeps taking L's.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh my god, we have so much more to talk about.
Well, we do. Chapter 26.
The next 5 chapters are guys. This is gonna be a long show. I'm so sorry. Ashandere, thank you for that super chat.
Super chat.
I think that mind traps are a way let the subject keep their free will while still forcing service, and compulsion does not allow for that. They need Mogideon for craftiness, not blind obedience.
That's true.
That's a good point. You know what? I really like your take on that, Ashandere.
Well, yeah, because Mogideon's strength has always been her cunning and behind the scenes stuff. So that, not her blunt force raw power. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Morghese is chilling, and this is where we're gonna start talking about we're 2 hours in, and we're gonna get to that thing that we said we were gonna talk about. Yep. This is where we're going to start talking about some sexual assault and battery and other things.
Yeah, this is your content warning.
Please be careful with how you discuss this in the chat. Let's all be mindful of other people's experiences and how your take on this could influence others. So just please be mindful. Let's all keep it civil and keep it kind in the chat.
Yes.
As we discuss something that is very icky.
Yeah, really awful.
Yeah.
Yes. So we find out. I'm sorry. There's too many M names now in my head. But Morghese is in bed. And what happened after Pedro Nile died is that Valda took over, and he and Asunawa? Asunawa? I can't. I literally cannot keep these names straight. Have been far less kind to her than Niall had. Obviously, Niall was a bad dude and was using her. But Valda...
well, it's Asunawa first. So Asunawa basically tortures Morghese.
Yeah.
And Valda...
Because he's a questioner, that's what they do.
Valda... Valda offers that if she sleeps with him, he will stop the torture.
Yeah.
And that is just horrifying. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
And this was tough to read because... Yeah,
it was. Especially the way that it was portrayed.
Yeah, I think that there's really awful... there's a real awful consequence for just the world that this happens to Morghese, and it's just awful that it happens to her. And this was hard to read. This was really tough to get through this because it's only a page, right? But a woman having to sleep with this disgusting man who hates her, to stop being tortured by another man is just unbelievably horrific.
Yes, the manipulation of it is. I mean, we already know that the White Cloaks suck. Nobody was under the impression that that was not the case. But it was hard to read, especially when you realize what happened, because it doesn't say this and this and this and this, right? It kind of goes out more in a roundabout way, and then when you actually realize what happened, it hits hard. Yeah. Ida, thank you for
that super chat. Ida says, what about the juxtaposition between Morghese and Matt? How she is so afraid that her people will get themselves killed if she tells them she was raped, while Matt is mocked and gaslit by his friends into thinking he likes it. I think that it is, it's hard to read, but I think it's a real honest look at the way that sexual assault is handled in real life.
Yeah,
and the reasons why both genders, when they survive sexual assault, they don't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Women because they are afraid of what is going to happen to them and the people around them.
Yep.
And men because they're afraid that they're going to not be believed.
Yeah.
Or look at what happened to Brendan Fraser, right? Brendan Fraser came out and said that he was sexually assaulted by the president of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and he lost his career because of it. And thank God he's having a resurgence. Guys, Brendan Fraser is my hero, genuinely. Him and Hugh Jackman are my heroes. They're the two people who mean the most to me in the world in terms of why I became an actor.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Yeah.
And look at what happened to Brendan Fraser, right? Like the same thing that's happening to Matt here.
Yeah.
And, look at a billion women who have been through the situation that Morghese is going through and don't come forward because they're so scared about the consequences.
Yep.
Sorry, I don't want to forget. So I'm going to take 1 second to just say thank you so much to Timothy,
welcome
for
to
becoming
the
an
nerd
art
table. Thank you so much.
But I think that I'm going to be honest. I don't know that this series is the right place to have this conversation. But I do think that Robert Jordan is being very on the nose and in the right way about it. So I actually think Robert Jordan handles both of these rapes very honestly and very in a real world way.
Yeah.
And I'm glad for that because I don't have to sit here and be like, why the hell, James Ross brings up Terry Crews. Terry Crews is another great example. I think Terry Crews was taken a little bit more seriously, thankfully. But Terry Crews was very honest about the fact that he was sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
And people were like, dude, you're like a 6'5", like giant man.
Yeah.
How could you be sexually assaulted? And that it's because, Terry Crews isn't going to like kill the man at a party, right?
Yeah.
Because he's a good person. I genuinely think Terry Crews is a very good person.
Yeah.
And, we need more honesty about that. Yeah. And I'm honestly surprised at how much honesty is in a book from the 90s.
Yeah.
But I've spoken a lot, and I would like to hear what you think about this, especially around Morghese.
I don't think that I have much more. I think that It is handled very well, and also like heartbreakingly so, especially the difference between Morghese and Matt. Like they both go through something that is horrendous, and they both have to deal with it in very different ways because of the people around them, right? And Morghese is Morghese is here because she is trying to do what's best for her like country as a whole.
That's how she got here, but she's here because she's trapped. Like this isn't like...
No, but that's what I mean. Like she went to the White Cloaks because she had no other choice, and this is where it got her, and that is horrific. You know? Yeah. Like she was trying to, she thought, you know, save the people of Andor and her daughter and her sons. Right? And she's put in this position, and I never thought that I would appreciate Pedro Nile. But he was definitely the lesser of two evils in terms of running the White Cloaks, who are absolute garbage.
Yeah. I think we don't choose what audiobook chapters we react to. I'm very glad that this was not it, because I think there would be I think that there would have been a discussion for like, oh no, it's really cool, the Sanchin attack. Because this chapter gets really cool. It's a very strange chapter in that the first half of it is so hard to read, and the second half of it is so fun.
Yes.
And juxtaposing that in a chapter is so fascinating to me.
Yeah. Yasmin also makes a great point. She was fleeing another abuser, Raven.
Oh, no.
She doesn't even know it.
No, but she went from being a rape victim to being a rape victim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And let's not downplay that at all.
Yeah. It makes my skin crawl.
And so, I don't know, I think that, I do think that this series has a lot of consent in it that is difficult to talk around.
Yeah.
I did not expect that when we started this show.
Yeah.
I hope that you all feel we're doing an okay job talking. We are trying our best to do this respectfully and still enjoy this. But, But this was really tough. And Morghese is shattered because of it. And there's just no other way to put it, right? Like this was a violent torture and then she was violently raped to stop the torture, and that is I genuinely hope that Asunwa and Falda have the most violent possible deaths. Ever.
I hope that they get what's coming to them. Timothy, thank you for that super chat.
Timothy, I have to admit that my hormonal teen thought Tyler and Matt scene was hot. My kink was powerful older women, but that has changed to being horrified after growing up.
And there's actually a lot of like issues in like our modern day society about finding that like power dynamic like attractive because we see it in certain medias where we're like, oh, this is meant to be like hot, this is meant to be whatever it is.
Well, but I also think that growing up is realizing what is healthy in sex, right? I think when you're a teenager, especially like, here's the thing, like I'm gonna be honest, for me, I lost my virginity very young, right? I was too young, and it set me on a course of like having some sexual relationships in my life that were not healthy because I had a bad. I started too early, and I didn't have the right respect for what those relationships meant.
Yeah. And as kids, like I don't think that we do a good enough job of teaching kids about. I think now we're doing better, but at a certain point...
Not in the States.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of, like, consent and teaching what that means. And the whole, like, you know, oh, he's being mean to you because he likes you. Yeah. Like, that's where that starts, right? Like, that is, like, kind of, like, I think a root of this kind of issue. Whereas, when you're a kid and you read this, you don't necessarily understand exactly what the power dynamics are here and what's going on. And it takes like someone who is mature to look at it and see it for what it is. And so I think that's totally fair.
Samantha A, thank you for that super chat. Speaking for myself only, I really hope they don't put this in the show or make someone else the perpetrator. They've already made a black man kill his wife in a fit of rage. I hope they don't make another a rapist. I
hadn't thought about that. Yeah.
I think that they will skip the Valda scene. I don't think that they will skip the Matt one.
No, I think the Matt stuff is really important. The stuff with Morghese,
I don't know if Morghese is going to be in the show, so we'll see.
Don't know if Morghese is really going to be in the show or have a big part in the show. This whole part is very complicated as well to deal with on screen anyways, like in terms of Morghese's storyline, how she got here. Valda has already been an amalgamation of several different characters, so I actually think that this might be left out.
The whole Valda thing's going to be interesting just because he's so different than in the books anyway.
The other thing as well is I think that the Robin stuff is more important, and I say that I'm sorry in that sense, but is more important because he's the Forsaken and what that means to those characters, and having both I think would just be very upsetting for people because it is very condensed already, right? It would be like one right after the other, and people would be like, guys, like, we get it, and so I don't think they need to have both. Like, I think that the Robin stuff will be included. I think that Matt and Tylan will be included, but I don't think the Valda stuff will. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Michael Timmons says, I know he technically said no, but it was less about the sex and more about Matt's belief that it wasn't the way it was supposed to happen. I know he technically said no. He said no.
He said no.
There's no technically. He said no. Yeah. And that's not, he is hiding from her because he doesn't want to.
Yes.
She forces herself upon him.
Starves him.
And then he's upset about it. There's no he technically said no.
Yeah.
She rapes him. Like, there's no second idea here. There's no but, there's no and, there's no he makes it very clear he wants nothing to do with it.
Yep.
She puts a knife to his throat.
Him at knife point. Yep.
And then she goes all the way with it.
Yeah.
There is no but. There's no technically. There's no any of that.
Yeah.
This is a rape scene.
Yeah.
And it is she uses her power as queen to get the entire castle involved, and she tells everyone that she's going to do this.
Yeah.
And then she does it, and then people think it's funny.
Yeah.
And there is no technically here. I'm sorry, and I this is not me against you personally. I understand like what you're trying to say, but like I want to be very clear.
Yeah.
That this is. Yeah, he's literally, Ceasing's right. He's literally trying not to cry afterwards, right?
Yeah.
This is rape, and it's hard to talk about, but I think that it's important that we can't skip over it, right? This is a part of the books. It's a part of life. Like, this does happen, and I think that Robert Jordan, there are times where I feel like I read sexual assault in books, and I really struggle with why it was there.
Yeah.
This is a time where, like, I think that Robert Jordan's doing something very intentional here.
Yes.
And I think that he is trying to tell a story. He is trying to point out very early on, because I don't think in the 90s a lot of people are having this conversation.
No.
But why it is difficult to be a male survivor of rape, and what Matt goes through is a very genuine commentary on the event.
Yes.
And it isn't like Matt becomes a better person because of it, which is sometimes my problem with sexual assault storylines, is that it's like she was raped until she was awesome. And that really bugs me, right?
Yeah.
But this is a situation where I feel like they're handling it in a really honest way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm actually impressed with how much Robert Jordan is writing honesty into this, considering it's 97?
Robert Jordan came from the military. He was a vet. Spoiler alert, rape happens in the war and even within military ranks. And obviously this is just speculation, I have a feeling that Robert Jordan probably saw some shit that we don't want to know, and that he didn't want to know either. And I think that it gives him a very important perspective on it.
Yeah.
And that's why he's able to do it in this way.
Purpleaja, thank you for that super chat.
Thank you for the super chat.
Just a reminder today, all super chats today are going to the Orange Shirt Society.
Yes.
As today is Orange Shirt Day in Canada, remembrance of, we're talking about some rough shit, and let's talk about real rough shit. The shit that went down in the residential schools in Canada is fucking awful.
Yeah.
And
there's not much that we can do, but what we can, we are trying.
Purpleaja says, been a while since I could catch one of these live. Listening from the beginning, I'll catch up later, but thank you for the thoughtful discussion. Of course.
Thank you for being here.
I wanted to bring up Robin So's comment here. There's a scene shortly before this where Matt thinks to himself that he never forces a woman who says no. There's no fun in forcing a woman. It's an interesting contrast to his experience with Tylan. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Matt, he doesn't, in all of his past lives.
Yes.
Which Matt, I was like,
Matt is very flirty, and Matt acknowledges what that chase is and what that means to people. And there is a push and pull and a little bit of like danger in that, where you need to be like respectful of the other person, right? Like, he understands the difference between what he has done with people, where he's very flirtatious, but he's never taken that to like knife, you know what I mean? Like, he knows he knows that there is a line and that Tylan just like fucking raced past it.
There is nothing wrong with having sex with 1,000 people, but there is everything wrong with forcing one person.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong. If you have a consent with 1,000 people, great. But if you force a single person, you're in the wrong.
Yeah.
And that's the hard line. There is no question.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we've kind of discussed that. Do you have any more to say about this? Because we do have to talk about the Sanchin.
No, we do need to talk about the Sanchin. Mm-hmm. That is that is very important. But I do appreciate the dialogue that we get in Matt's head. Mm-hmm. Because I think that it brings an interesting perspective to it, especially because we talked last week how I didn't love how Matt was treating women and thinking about them and the things he was saying about them a lot of times. But there's like being kind of shitty. Yeah. Oh no.
And then there's being like.
No. I'm not. Yeah. Those things are not even comparable, or nothing is justified, or anything like that. That is not the point that I mean.
Yeah.
But like that we do get that difference, and we get that insight into his head. I think that's super important for Robert Jordan to have included into this.
100%. No, I agree.
But the Sanchin are back, which we kind of already knew. But they're here, and as soon as Valda and Asunawa leave...
Marco says, didn't Wilt Chamberlain sleep with 20,000 women?
What a boss. How many a day is that?
Hey, if it's consensual, I have no problem with that.
Maybe there were just a lot of really large orgies.
Methany, thank you for that super chat. You two said earlier that you might not be the right people to discuss this, but as far as I'm concerned, you've proven differently. Thank you. Look, we're just trying. We want to make sure that like we talk about these books, but we also want to make sure that like... I don't know. I want to be careful, y'all. I do not want to make anybody feel bad while I'm in the show. I want to talk honestly about it, but I don't want anyone who's been through a situation like this, because I haven't, right? I've been
and that's why we gave a warning at first, because this is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, and we want to be extremely mindful of that.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we're both very big consent people.
Consent is sexy.
We ride the line of our lives involve a lot of sex and stuff around sex, and it's really important. Consent is very important to us, especially considering.
Yes.
Look, let's be honest. Like, we've talked with a lot of people who are sex workers. We have a lot of sex worker friends, and some of the stories that we've heard are just like unbelievably horrifying.
Yep.
And so it's very important to us.
Yes. Yeah.
So Morghese gets out of bed because people come in. There's birds.
Huh?
There's birds.
There's large birds that are landing on the towers and the castle. Mm-hmm. So people are like, wow, weird birds. I don't know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No one has ever seen these things before, and they're like, are they like agents of the Dark One? I mean, I guess they like have to be, right?
What was weird is that like we know about the Dreadcar, right?
Yeah.
Although actually, I don't know if regular people know about Dreadcar. They seem to know what Trollocs are, but Dreadcar seem to be a little bit more rare.
Yes, I think that those are definitely more rare.
And so so Morghese goes to the window, and she's almost killed by an arrow, and then all shit breaks loose. And Morghese is like, you know what? We're just gonna sit down, and we're gonna do nothing.
Yeah. And they're like, I think we can escape right now if we go.
And Morghese's like, nah, let's just chill. So they sit down for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is like this is my favorite battle scene of all time. And I hope that the episode of the show is just the four of them sitting there while you listen to battle sounds for an hour.
Yeah.
It's a full episode of television.
Just that whole episode.
Of just them in the room, and you just hear the battle going on.
You know what we could do? We could make that episode, because it would be very cheap. You can be Linny and I'll be Morghese.
No, I'll be
Talonvor.
Talonvor.
That's the one.
Yeah. We'll just need to hire some actors, and we'll make this scene.
Oh my god, I love it.
And then we'll just like bang metal. We'll like do Foley, and we'll bang metal and stuff, and it'll be a full hour of like, and it'll pitch, and it'll get louder, and we'll be like, oh my god.
Yeah.
We'll record the battle stuff first, and then we'll have like actual reactions in the scene. That would be so funny.
Our newest reaction video. Oh god, I love it.
So there's a lot of fighting, and Morghese knows that the One Power is being used.
Yes, she thinks this might be the Aes Sedai.
But she's strong enough in the One Power to be able to feel it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, we didn't get. There's one more thing I want to talk about the sex scene.
Okay.
We talked about the reality of it.
Yeah.
I don't like that this happened.
Oh right,
why would why would Valda have sex with Morghese?
Yeah,
she was trained at the One Tower.
Yeah, he thinks that anyone who has the One Power or goes to the White Tower is basically a dark friend.
Why? Like
because all the White Cloaks are what's the word? There's a word for this. There's a word. God, the words are hard today. It's a hypocrite. All the White Cloaks are hypocrites. Right. Every single fucking one of them.
Yeah, but she would be like, I don't know. Oh, no. I get the domination and all that, but she's still, like, tainted.
In his, like,
in mind, his mind, right? It's like having
sex with... He probably thought that him overpowering someone who can channel and use the One Power was, like, a very, like, gotcha thing to the...
You know what?
Witches.
I'm not going to say that I like that, because it's gross, but I think that is the explanation that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He literally thinks he's like dominating darkness. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
That, you know what? That actually helps me square it all the way in my head.
Yeah.
So the fighting ends, and they've just been sitting there. They've been chilling.
There's a little thud. I was gonna say knock on the door. They basically break it down.
They come in, and guess who it is? It's our insect daddies, the Sanchan.
Yeah.
Or as people want us to call them, the Shan-chan.
Shan-chan. I'm sorry.
No, it's the Sanchan.
Sanchan. Yeah.
And they're like, all right, you Morghese, come with us. And she's like, okay.
Sure. This'll be fun. And so she gets taken to sea. We finally get to meet...
Not the Empress.
No, not
we
the
meet,
Empress.
what's her name?
Forever. The High Lady Suroth. Yes.
No, we've met her before.
Have we met Suroth?
Yeah, in that one, when they were in Tenchiko, there's that one POV where they're like at an island off of Tenchiko, and we meet Suroth there. There was one POV where we met her a while ago in Fires of Heaven, I think.
Was that really?
Oh, Suroth was in Falma. She was in book 2. Yeah.
I thought. All right, it's been a while.
The S names blend together, guys. The S names blend together.
No,
I don't know what to tell you.
I thought we met the guy.
Yeah, we met him as well.
Killed.
Yeah.
So I don't remember Suroth in that book, but
she was there.
Fine. That's fine. Anyways,
So she's like, "Yo, what's up? My name is High Lady Suroth. You're Morghese. Basically, you're gonna work for us. You're gonna run Andor for us. Or you're going to be a slave who dances for me. Those are your two options. Because you know who's a slave dancing for her?
Is Amathera? Amathera. I was like, Amadisia? Nope, there's too many goddamn
also
names. But
Pura, the Aes Sedai from book 2.
Yeah, still there. Still there. Yeah.
I thought Pura died in Falma.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she was still there. I hate the Sanchan so much.
Oh my god, they're so fucked up.
They're so fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're so entitled about it.
Isn't it nice to look at pretty things? So we make them dance naked for us. I was like,
I know. I said the Sanchan showing up is fun in this chapter. I should rephrase that. The fight part is fun, where it's like, there's giant birds. That is fun, because it's like, oh, the dragons attacked.
Yeah.
Everything else about this is awful. And the Sanchan are awful.
Yes, the Sanchan are horrendous. But I think the thing that still gets me, that, God, I cannot wait for this, like, truth bomb to drop.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's the fact that the Adams can only be run by people who can also channel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is shit. I'm like, God.
It's gonna do to the Sanchan what the Aiel went through.
Yeah.
When Rand breaks that news to them.
Yeah.
Because that's what he does, right? He rips cultures apart. And I think that he's going to win the war against the Sanchan by informing them that everything they believe is wrong.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, they even fabricate a...
Yeah, and Nandra brought an even Elaine to Suroth. That was the person she gave them to. Yeah.
Yes, sorry. No, you're right.
That was so long ago.
So long ago. It feels like forever.
Things that we would know on a reread that on our first read we're like, have we met this person before?
I keep thinking that, like, after we're done Wheel of Time, like, book club, we'll move on to something else. But, like, by the time we're at the end of this, we might have to go back and reread it.
I know. Season 2 of this podcast might just be us going through this a second time.
Yeah, literally.
Which I think is what people want.
That's true. I don't think they would mind.
So, the Sanchan are fucked. They're so fucked.
Yeah, and so they basically...
Super interesting to read, though, because they're so, like, weird. Yes. Like, they almost read like an alien species.
Yes, well written, and I agree with that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But, God, they're... So, basically, Morghese... They fabricate the interaction where her, like, guard, like, throws her And then Suroth is like, go punish yourself.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. And Margase is too smart. She's like, that was fabricated.
She's like, I fucking see right the fuck through you.
So Thira dances for her, and she leaves. Suroth leaves.
Yeah.
After making some threats. And it's super interesting. Because Margase is in the worst place possible.
Yes.
And yet she's still so smart.
Yeah.
And she's still so quick. Like, she hasn't been slowed by her despair at all. Right? Which I just think is...
And she hasn't been slowed by the brain fog from the compulsions of Revan. Like, she's...
Well, and...
She is so strong.
And she, in this whole chapter, is commenting on how weak she is and how cowardly she is and all of these things.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that I think that she's the strongest, most impressive person right now.
Yeah.
Because...
And all she can think about is her kids. Even Galad, you know, she's like, I love Galad.
That hurt my heart.
Yeah.
When she was like, I love Galad so much, and I think he's the one who needs it most, was like, Morgase, I love this character now.
Yeah.
And
I really hope they don't cut her.
I hope she's in the show. I really do. I hope they fashion it differently, because
I
really don't want to watch the whole Raven thing. I hope that happens off screen.
Yeah.
But Morgase is literally like incredible. The Galad line really seals it for me.
Yeah.
She's a good person.
Yes.
And she's trying her best.
Yes.
And like, I genuinely think Morgase is a fantastic character.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so weak. I'm so cowardly. Balwer shows up and is like,
she goes to the window. She says the words to relinquish her throne because she's about to fall out of it. Like, she, like...
Oh, no, 100%. But I'm saying, like...
Sorry, I thought you were moving on sequentially, and I just wanted to,
right. Yeah, let's get that first.
Make sure that we talk about it.
She's not jumping out of cowardice, though. Right? She's jumping because she knows that if she stays, she's giving the Sanshin power over Andor.
Yes, exactly.
And she's...
Because people will follow her, and
because they will use her to control Andor.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm going to jump. And she says that it's cowardice, but like, it's not cowardice.
Yeah.
She knows. She's too smart.
Yeah.
And so when Balwer shows up, she says these irrevocable words, which I don't know what that means.
We don't know.
If you don't say them to anybody.
We don't know what they mean. Yeah.
Unless the Lion Throne is literally magic. I don't really know how they're irrevocable.
You, say the words, you can't be undone.
Balwer shows up and he's like, I have a way out. And she's like, all right, let's go.
Fucking Balwer coming in clutch.
She's not a coward.
Yeah.
She's not a coward. She says, all right, let's go.
She's like, there is a small chance. It's not much, but it's small, and we're gonna fucking fight for it, you know?
And that's why Morgase fucking rocks.
Yeah.
Morgase kicks ass. And I'm so worried about what's gonna happen to her, because I don't think she makes it. But, like, Morgase kicks so much fucking ass.
Yeah, I would like some hype in the chat for Morgase and Balwer, please. Please throw some hype in there, because... God, Morgase deserves it.
Look, Balwer's only doing it to stick it to Valda, which is fine.
Fine, it's fine. Like, he comes in and he helps.
If you're going to stick it to someone, stick it to Valda.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking, yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's get some hype in the chat. If you have emotes, feel free to drop them. But yeah, this section was horrible and heartbreaking to read, and also incredible because Morgase is Morgase, and like... Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Jack of the Shadows says Nerdy just likes her because she's a redhead. You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
Not just likes her, but it is a reason.
Yes.
I like redheads, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Tyshar Morgase. So we need to get moving because this is going to be the first one to pass 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Have we passed 3 hours before? We might have.
Have we passed? I don't know.
This is the most stacked reading section we've ever had.
I think so.
Mostly because there's so many storylines now.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much shit happening.
Chapter 27.
Lion Throne. Nice.
To be alone. Perrin and Rand
have a fight.
This is so smart. But reading it, I was like, you fucking boys.
Well, and we both thought this. Reading it, we're like, oh, Rand's fucking losing it.
Yeah,
like, for a moment, we were also like, we also thought they were fucked.
But this is why Rand has not lost it yet, because he's fucking smart.
He is.
So.
Yeah.
Sex Monkey says there's no way around it. There's so much happening. There's literally so much happening.
This section is massive.
People were like, yeah, Chronoswords, it's kind of like less. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? This book is insane.
Yeah, people are like, this is when the slog starts.
The Sanchin have taken over 3 countries. The fucking, not a lot happens to Rand, admittedly, but for everybody fucking else, this shit's crazy.
Shit is going down.
So Perrin is like stalking the halls because he just fought with his wife, and he just fought with, and everybody's fighting, and Rand threw him across the room with the power hard enough that people are worried that his back is broken, but
it's all a ploy.
He runs into Loyal, who's like, I'm sorry you're fighting with Rand and that you're leaving. Perrin's like, nah, it's good. I'm getting out of this town. Fuck Rand. Fuck him in his stupid fucking face. What? He's selling it. Perrin's going all out. He's
a great actor.
And so
he studied under Meisner.
He heads up to the bar, or the stable, gets Stepper, and he rides off, never to be seen again. And that's the end of his story. Perrin has left the Wheel of Time. That is a wrap on Perrin. Everyone say goodbye to our boy.
Thank you, Perrin, for everything you've done.
Except psych, motherfuckers. Everybody's waiting for him in the woods because it's actually all just a ploy to send him on a mission.
That's true. Talmain says the like button looks lonely. And yeah, I agree. If you're here and you haven't hit the like button, why? Like
if you don't like this section, that's fine. Hit the dislike button. It means the same thing to the algorithm.
Like or dislike.
I don't care if you hit the dislike button, guys. Just hit a button. Just press things. Interact.
Press buttons.
So, yeah. So Perrin runs into the woods, and Christian Rapper asks, does Loyal know? I don't think Loyal knows.
I don't think he does.
I think he's left in the dark.
I don't know how Loyal would be as an actor.
Loyal's got a big mouth. He does.
He also, I don't think I could ever see Loyal lying.
Do you think Loyal will be married next time we see him? Because he's going to all these steadings. I don't know if he's going to get away with going to all these steadings without getting married off.
He might get married, but he's going to take her with him.
That's what I think is going to happen. Yeah. I do think that he's going to get married, and she's going to be like, let's go on an adventure.
Yeah.
I that's what I kind of hope. I hope they ride into battle side by side with giant axes together, him and...
it starts with an E.
God damn it.
Eldrin
or something. Whatever her name is.
Fuck. I forgot.
And so it looks like Perrin's got a good little crew of people to go to war with. He's got his
Aerith, thank you.
Aerith, thank you.
Yeah, he's got the 2 rivers, folks. He's got Berylane, but her.
Well, no, but this is the thing. So the chapter doesn't set that up. The chapter goes, and they go through the portal to Gildan.
Yeah.
And then the last person through the portal is Berylane, and you're like, oh, that's why him and Fael are fighting.
Yeah.
Rand, what the fuck, dude?
Well, but here's the thing, is he's been talking about, he has been setting up sending Berylane home this whole time. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense. Her fighters are very good. We know this. The Red Wing,
Yeah. Here's the winged guards. Yeah,
winged guards.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, though. Fael has more of a connection to Gildan than Berylane does. Yeah. You don't need Berylane to talk to the queen there. You send Fael because Saldea and Galdian are near each other.
Yeah, but I thought that
Mayene is on the other side of the fucking world.
Yeah, I thought the point of sending Berylane was for her warriors, though. It's kind of the best way you can
they've sent Berylane to talk to the queen of...
Yes, on one hand, but also... Rand, as soon as he moves troops, especially Aiel, it's suspicious, right? But he can send Berylane and all of her troops back without it drawing suspicion because he set that up. So he's able to give his people more manpower by sending Berylane and her army.
I don't think that Perrin the 2 Rivers boys don't need no help. They're the 2 Rivers boys. They've got Ashaman and Aes Sedai with them. They're going to be fine. They don't need no winged guards. And also, he's making his boys' life hell. Rand should not send Berylane purely because he loves Perrin and doesn't want his life to be a fucking nightmare.
I don't think he really knows what Berylane is doing, though.
Berylane has made it so obvious.
To us,
I'm pretty sure that, the Days Kongar in the 2 Rivers knows that what Berylane is doing to Perrin.
I don't think so, because I think that the 2 Rivers boys would have fucking, murdered Berylane.
There is no way
they love
that the Maidens of the Spear have not gossiped with Rand about all the shit that's going down for Perrin. Sulin and all of the ladies are sitting Rand down, their little brother, and being like, dude, you don't know what your boy's life is like.
I actually don't think he knows.
If Rand does not know about what's going on with Perrin, then he does not know what's going on in his own house.
Yeah.
sending Berlane is the meanest thing a bro could do to a bro.
I don't think he did it on purpose, honestly.
All right.
I think that it was his like best tactical strategy.
Karen McSavvy says, in fairness, Rand was in a box for most of the Berlane drama. That's fair. that you know what? That's fair. I just think that like this sucks for Perrin. I feel so bad for him.
It absolutely sucks for Perrin, and it's going to be a problem, and it might actually like be detrimental to what they're going to go do.
1,000%. I think Fael's gonna stab Berlane in her mouth.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like fuck.
Yep, I could see that. Anyway, so yeah, it was all a ploy.
How fun.
And I'm kind of honestly into it, like, because I didn't get it until they all came together. Well, not until they all came together. No, the way that it's written,
Robert Jordan crushed it.
Yeah.
Because when Sulin comes out, because that's the moment where know.
That was it. When Sulin arrived, I was like, oh, I see.
This chapter was so fun after all the awfulness of the last chapter, because the only bad thing is that Berlane and Perrin are still in the same location, but this chapter was very well done. Like, I thought this was one of the most fun reveals of the entire series so far.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because he got me. I genuinely was like, fuck, Rand, what have you done? Yeah. And then I'm like, fuck, Rand, you're so smart.
Yeah.
This was fun. Chapter 27 is fantastic.
It's gonna be a nightmare, though, because Valda and Asunua are also going to deal with Missima. So it's gonna be Perrin, who they know what Perrin looks like, right? Like, they know Perrin Golden Eyes. It's gonna be a fucking shit show, and I cannot wait to read it.
I think we're gonna skip over chapter 28 just because we already discussed it so much.
Yes, we did.
I don't think we need to go over it all again.
No, I agree. I don't think...
But Tylan literally withholds food until Matt sleeps with her. That's another element of it that's fucked up.
Yeah.
She literally won't let him eat. Like, it's fucked.
Yeah.
But I don't think that we need to go through all that again.
No, I think we've talked enough about it. It's fucked up, and I feel very bad for Matt, and Tylan sucks.
So chapter 29 starts the morning after. Matt wakes up next to Tylan, and he... No, wait. That goes into chapter 29.
End of the chapter, yeah. Yep.
So they leave.
She like gives him a gift and everything. Oh, it's so gross.
It's all gross.
You should pierce your ear. Oh my god, yeah, I almost threw the fucking book when I read that. Like, I was like, yep.
Logic Cell says she's using classical operant conditions techniques like you would on a dog. Exactly.
Yeah, it's
fucking awful.
Up.
I think that Tylan now is F tier.
Yeah.
And I loved her.
I know, I liked her too.
I loved her.
I know.
And now I hope she is deposed and that she ends up in prison.
And her son even calls Matt, like, her pretty.
Yeah, I hate it. Yeah,
I was like, this is...
And her son's into it. It's all fucking weird.
It's disgusting.
But that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know that Tylan's a bad person necessarily as she's been conditioned by
just
Ebudari
raised
culture.
Wrong. Yeah, 100%.
Which makes me think that if all of Ebudar burns, great.
It's fine. We don't need Ebudar.
Berlane is a better politician, though. Oh, Hold Your Fire, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for that super chat.
She's dealt with Tyr wanting to conquer Maine for years. She knows how to negotiate better than Fael. Oh, no, that's fair. I'm just saying, my point is that it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah.
For Perrin.
Yeah, it is.
And Perrin's who I care about. I don't care about the kingdom, okay? I care about my boy.
Thank you for that super chat.
Bros before kingdoms, bro.
Bros before kingdoms.
Thanks for the super chat.
Yeah.
So, Matt and Brigitte and Nalcine go to watch the Kin's house again. They've been doing that throughout this whole situation with Tylan.
Yeah.
And he, Matt is like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go follow that person. If I'm not back tomorrow, he says, tell them they'll have to find it for themselves.
Yeah.
And he leaves.
Yeah.
And it cuts over to Rihanna's point of view. Mm-hmm. And Rihanna's watches Matt follow the girl off. And it's like, well, if he fucks with her, he's going to find out.
Fuck around and find out.
Not knowing that Matt can't be channeled that.
Yeah.
And Rihanna goes under her umbrella, Ella, and she's like, we're leaving. Everyone, pack up.
Yeah.
We're getting the fuck out.
Yep.
Is there anything else in that chapter you wanted to talk about?
No.
That's kind of it.
I think that sums it up pretty well. I love Brigitte and Matt together.
Oh, their relationship's awesome.
It brings me joy. For reals, yeah.
Chapter 30. The First Cup. Elaine goes back to her room and Now Cian comes up and is like, yo, Matt kind of stormed off. We don't know what's going on. But he says he's going to go find it. I don't know. And the Marililla.
I cannot. That name ruined me in the reaction.
Marililla?
Yeah.
So she goes back, and the Aes Sedai are holding court on Elaine. And they're being all like, you revealed a secret that you're not allowed to reveal that you don't know.
She's like, I don't know this fucking secret. How could I reveal something that I didn't know was a secret?
Because the Aes Sedai are dumb.
And they're like, we're going to pass judgment. And Elaine just goes, fuck this bullshit. And
This might be the scene I'm most excited for in the show now.
Yeah.
Like, Do My Wells is great, but watching Elaine just stand up and go, shut the fuck up. And the three women go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever you say, Elaine, you're our mommy now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because she just
you know whose fault this
schools
is?
them. What?
Morghese. Morghese taught her how to fucking do this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. You know who needs to be put in their fucking place? The Aes Sedai. And Elaine is like, my dick is bigger than yours.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Yeah.
This was... I loved it so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All the characters keep like one-upping one another in a lot. Not all of them. I take that back. Some of the characters keep one-upping one another in ways. Like every time I'm like, oh, I think I like Avienda best. And then I'm like, oh no, after that scene, I think I love Min best. Mm-hmm. And then after this, I'm like, God, I fucking love Elaine. Yeah. Even though she pisses me off sometimes. Like this was so good. I loved getting to read this. It was so satisfying.
But this is where the value of setting up how regal her training is and upbringing is pays off, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, it all pays off in the scene that is, it's really fun to read. It shows off how utterly incompetent Aes Sedai's structure is, and it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, the Aes Sedai look like a bunch of morons.
Shocking.
Neil Lore says, nah, it's Linny's fault. Fair. Neil Lore is correct. This is all Linny.
Correct.
But yeah, she basically is like, shut up. From now on, I'm in charge. Uh-huh. And she just says it with enough authority that they agree.
Well, no, she's basically like, I'm here because the Amerlin seat is here. Are you going to go against the Amerlin seat? I don't fucking think so. The hall, the Amerlin seat. You, me.
Yeah.
Get it fucking right.
And also, she's the most powerful person in the room.
Yes, that also helps.
And she reminds them of that.
Yeah.
And so they tell her this really interesting backstory that the kin have always been around, and the Aes Sedai have always known about
forever.
Because the kin are their secret way of stopping runaways from running away, which is manipulative as fuck. Because they're basically like, oh no, if we don't want people to leave, they don't get to.
Yeah.
If they want to leave, like, the Aes Sedai are wrapped up in some consent problems.
Yeah, the Aes Sedai suck. We already know that.
They tell the story of how, like, the kin have been there the whole time, and they're like, yeah, the Aes Sedai know about it, and we allow it. And Elaine is like, great, I don't really understand how it's my fault that I found out about them independently of you.
Yeah.
But I'm in charge now, and we're gonna go fuck their shit up. Literally. I loved it. This scene was rad.
Yeah, I loved it too.
Literally, like, Elaine, chef's kiss. I cannot wait for her and Rand to run back into each other, because it is not going to go the way Rand thinks it is.
Nope.
Rand is going to get pegged so hard by Elaine, and I can't wait for it. Maybe with the oath rod.
He needs it, honestly. He needs it. He needs
to
let
let
go
only if it's consensual.
Yes.
After she completely takes control, we cut over to Moghedien?
Yeah.
In Ibudur?
Moghedien's just like riding around in her thing. What do you call those?
She's doing something in her. She's being carried by four men on a.
In a. It's not a carriage.
It's a
thing.
Palanquin? I don't know.
It's a thing.
And so she's doing something for Moradin.
Yes.
Which I think is finding the Ongriels. I think she's on that mission as well. But she sees Nynaeve, and she's like, fuck my mission. I'm going to run up to the top of this building, and I'm going to shoot balefire across the city at Nynaeve. Which is just the most insane. Like, Moghedien is this character who we were like, she's so secretive. You never see her coming. And then she's like, I'm going to shoot balefire.
Fuck this! Yeah.
From the top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, literally.
She's like, I am Moghedien!
And then she's like, oh shit, everyone's gonna realize, and she fucking books it.
No,
like,
she feels Moradin, and she's like, oh no, he is here, fuck, and she runs away.
Okay, but also, she's like, everybody around is going to know what happened. And she fucking takes off.
Yeah. And Bryce brings up PTSD. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She hates Nynaeve for what Nynaeve did to her.
Yeah.
It is just so interesting how much Gideon has been changed by everything she's done.
Yeah.
Like, the careful planner is gone, and she is now just like she's a blunt object. She went from being a scalpel to a blunt object in such an interesting way.
Yep.
That
brings us to the next
I
chapter.
got this wrong.
Because in the reaction, you thought it was Brigitte because of the feathered mask.
I thought that she saw the mask, and I didn't know that Elaine was wearing a costume.
Yeah.
So I thought she shot at Brigitte and missed. But it makes sense either way. Methany, thank you for that super chat. The Kin are the Towers farm team.
Oh God, yeah.
No, that's a hockey joke.
Oh, I don't get it.
Like the hockey, the NHL have like farm
where they pull from
teams. Yeah, so like
okay.
Like the Calgary Hitmen are the Flames farm team.
Great.
Yeah.
I love that for us.
Yeah. No, it's a thing. It's like the minor leagues.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
That's a sports term. That's not... It's kind of a funny joke because they literally call it the farm, but...
Yeah, they send people to the farm, so it's like, what?
Yeah, I think it's a big thing in baseball, too. It's not as much a thing in football, but... Anyway, So,
we thought that it was Brigitte in the reaction, but it is Nynaeve, and we get to our reaction chapter.
We
31.
get to our reaction chapter. So, y'all, this is where... I think that if I had read this chapter, it would have been more emotional.
Yes.
Listening to this chapter, it was fucking hilarious.
Yes. I definitely experience media differently listening to it versus reading it.
Because if I had read it, I think Nynaeve breaking her block would have had more emotional impact for me.
Yeah.
Listening to it didn't really.
No, it was very funny.
And I
thought you guys did this on purpose. I thought you guys were like, we're going to make them listen to the horniest scene in these books.
She spun around before he could come on her from behind. Broke me. Literally shattered me.
We saw.
I was laughing so hard. Like, I was wrecked. She spun around before he came on her from behind.
Yeah.
And then she's like, he wasn't as hard as the wooden benches. Well, almost not as hard. What the fuck was Robert Jordan masturbating while typing this chapter? Was his wife like under the desk, like giving him a blowy? Like, this is the horniest. Probably. And about stuff that the docks were thrusting out into the water. I was like, what happened?
This is his way of flirting with his wife.
Oh, because she edits it.
He's like, hey, I wrote a new chapter. Do you want to check it out?
All of the descriptions in this section are so horny.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I think that it's a very emotional chapter. Lan comes back.
Totally,
Lan
great.
saves Nynaeve after she saves herself. And
she was not saved. She still would have drowned. She got halfway there. And then Lan was living on a prayer. Sorry.
I mean, Lan literally was her prayer. It's a beautiful chapter. I think that Nynaeve breaking her block is like fucking finally. Yes. Honestly, here's the thing though. I think it wasn't very emotional for me because my thing wasn't like, oh, it's so beautiful she broke her block. I was like, God, finally.
Finally, yeah. I get that. I think it was beautiful. I was just the other stuff around it was just a lot. Like it was really well done. The whole surrendering thing, like. We know that Nynaeve is the most stubborn human being to have ever graced the earth. But
the hair shark. Ericwood brings up the hair shark.
Yeah.
I thought a shark grabbed me by the hair and was pulling me.
It's like, a shark? Are you in?
Yes, sharks are notorious for eating women's hair.
Yeah.
That's why you can find so many bezoars in the stomach of a shark.
Right off.
And Bryce, she was like, I can't take my clothes off or my jewelry. Better to die than be less than fully dressed in public.
Literally, she's like, I will not resurface while not wearing my dress. I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
It's so funny. She's so stubborn.
Yeah.
But her block is finally gone, which means she's fucking dangerous.
She's about to fuck shit up.
She has made no oaths on no oath rod.
Nope.
And she is so powerful. Like, Nynaeve is now the most dangerous person because Nynaeve doesn't fucking care about anything. She just does whatever she wants and thinks she's right all the time.
Yeah.
And she has the most power.
Yep.
I think that Nynaeve is now the most... The Dark One does not need to worry about Rand. He needs to worry about Nynaeve Almira because she's a loose cannon.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lan shows up, saves her, brings her onto a boat. She throws up. She looks up. She's like, "Oh my god!"
She's surprised she didn't throw up fish, which was that hurt me.
That was
guys.
funny.
So the night before we recorded this, I spent most of the night throwing up. I had a very bad reaction to some butter chicken that I ordered. I had food poisoning on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
it was very bad, and so listening to her throwing up in this chapter was actually really tough on my stomach. Because
Tuesday night, because we recorded on Wednesday.
We recorded on Wednesday, yeah. It was Tuesday night that I was throwing
up. It was
rough. And it sucks. But butter chicken is literally my favorite thing in the world. So I had it because she went out for dinner with our friend Fanta, and I was alone. So I had my favorite meal, and I got so sick.
Yeah.
Like, I was like...
Yeah. So that scene, you were like... nope.
And so we were listening to that, and I was like, I had literally spent the night before throwing up. I hadn't eaten all day because my stomach hurt so much. And... we were listening to that, and I was literally like,
yeah.
But so she sees all the people on the ship laughing at how forward she's being. So she pulls Lan into a cabin without asking anyone. She's like, "This is my sex cabin now," and she starts kind of. Robert Jordan has a lot of hitting people.
Yes.
That I don't love. At this point, I'm like, okay, this is how this world works. Like, I don't think.
Yeah, we can harp on it all we want. I don't like violence sucks.
I think one slap was warranted. I think the 4 slaps after it and the punch to the stomach aren't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been slapped in the face by a woman for something I deserved. It happens. Everything after that was too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes. It was very, yeah. But yeah, Nynaeve is not violent like Elaine. Gosh. She would never.
Yeah.
She's so unaware. It's wild. But yeah, Lan shows up. Lan saves her life. They go into the cabin and he's like, I belong.
Logic Cell says, I always argued the books were less horny than many people claimed. Then I watched these two and I can't deny it anymore. Look,
I'm not sorry.
I don't think we're adding a lot to the writing. I think it's in the writing.
Yeah.
In this chapter, Lan goes, if we get married, Morel will feel every time you and I have sex. And Nynaeve goes, like, great. Can we make sure she knows it's me?
Yeah.
That is horny as fuck. Yeah. She's not a voyeur. What's the opposite of a voyeur? Like, Nynaeve goes full exhibitionism here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can we make sure that Morel knows that I'm the woman you're inside of is a horny fucking thing to say.
Yeah. And Lan laughs for the first time in...
And Lan is like, haha, you hawk.
Oh, God. It was one of those weird things, though, where, like, Lan, like... The first thing, basically, that Lan says to her is basically, like, I'm bonded to somebody else. Like...
Yeah, the way he handles it is really shitty.
It's really bad.
And he does not tell her that Morel plans to pass the bond to her.
Yeah.
Because he wants to die.
He doesn't want... Yeah, he doesn't want her to have to deal with that.
Yeah.
That was actually very sad, to be honest. But yeah, Nynaeve is like... So when a man gives a woman a ring, it means that they're betrothed. I made that up, but he doesn't.
I read that in a story one time. So we're getting married today.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sure somebody on the Atha and Mir boat can perform
Get me to the church on time.
Like, oh my fucking God. Like,
I'm getting married in the morning. Ding dong, the bells are gonna chime.
Yeah. Nynaeve is...
It's awesome. It's ready. So funny. But also poor Morel. She has no idea. When Nynaeve sees her, she's in for it.
Morel is fucked.
Hold your fire. Thank you so much for that super chat. Robert Jordan can sometimes keep tension or plot devices going too long, like Nynaeve's block, but when he finally resolves them, it's so freaking satisfying. I agree with that.
Yes.
Hold your fire.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I think this whole series could be condensed by like 4 books.
Well, we haven't finished it.
I know, but I think that they could cut. No, I could have. You could have done
all of what happened in 3 books.
I think you could cut a lot of it.
You
can cut all of Nynaeve and Elaine from Fires of Heaven.
You're not wrong.
They got to Saladar.
Great. Love that for us. Yeah. Yep.
You could cut a lot of the Margay stuff. Like, there's a lot of plot lines that you could cut. You could make this a succinct series.
Yeah.
I like it. This series is not tight.
I want to see...
It's starting to feel like Book 5 Game of Thrones.
I want to see a sequence where Nynaeve is so powerful that, like, they're fully under attack in the middle of her wedding to Lan, and she's just fucking deflecting bullshit, being like, hurry up with it, let's get this done with.
She just puts a bubble around the sea folk ship. She's like, I will fight that fight in a second. We're getting married
first.
That's
and
funny.
Foremost. Yeah. That's what I need.
All right. So then we cut over to Elaine. No, we cut over to Rihanna. It's Elaine, but like they knock on the door.
Yes.
And another S name opens the door.
Another S name.
And she's like, "You came back." And Birgitte is like, and like gets the woman all strung up, and she's like, "Yeah, I came back, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Where are they?" And so they go upstairs and they bust down the door, and Rihanna's like, "You came back!" And then all the Aes Sedai walk in, and Rihanna's like, "I fucked up."
Yep. And so she goes to grovel at Marilla, and Marilla is like, "No, it's actually Elaine." I can't.
So Elaine is like, "Look, here's the deal. The little tower will take you back." And this was...
You can learn to be Aes Sedai.
This hit me.
Yeah.
Like, this was so sweet. We cut a lot of this out of the YouTube version of the reaction because we weren't saying anything.
Yeah.
And so we were just kind of silently sitting there listening to the section. This was very sweet. And this was where I was like, oh, Elaine could be a good ruler. Like, you know, the way she handles this is really well. And I like that she's like, well, Egwene can never say I didn't do my best to bring people to the White Tower.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and it does. It benefits them all, right? Like, having more people on their side is ultimately just probably gonna be a big factor in the last battle, right? And a lot of them are older and have been around for so long that they might have made their own discoveries, and they might be willing to share those things because they don't have that Aes Sedai notion of keeping all of your secrets to yourself because fuck everybody else.
But there's also clearly women there who are stronger than who are very powerful.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
So we learned some fun information. First of all, there's 1,700 Wilders.
Yeah.
There's 1,700 kin, which is more than double the frickin'...
No, I think it's like double. I think there's like almost 1,000 Aes Sedai or something.
Yeah, but they're split. Like...
Oh, they're split.
You know what I mean? Like now the little tower becomes... Yeah, It's crazy.
Yeah.
The one girl who's like, I can be green. That got me. That was
very
emotional. And then suddenly there's channeling downstairs, and they're like, oh no. And I freaked out. I was like, oh, Gideon's attacking.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Nope. Matt, our boy, walks in holding S name. And
he's like, hey, I found your bowl. It's in a warehouse with the rusty lock on it. I bet my bottom dollar. And Egwene is like, Elaine is like, yeah, we found out already. Thank you.
No. She is rude and dismissive of his accomplishment. And then she looks at Birgitte, and Birgitte is going, what are you doing? Literally. Like, she needs someone else to be like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. And she's like, but none of this would have happened without you, which is the truth. But here's the thing. Even if you don't need somebody to do it when it is accomplished, you ask someone to do something, you force them to move, you do all this stuff so that they do something for you, and they accomplish it, I don't care if someone else already did the same thing.
Yeah.
You fucking thank them.
Yeah.
You don't look to your warder to find out that you should thank them. You just thank them.
Elaine is learning. Like, I think
she feels it through the bond. Yeah, Complex also, she, like, feels Birgitte being like, what are you doing, girl?
Yeah.
We just went through this.
I also think that, I actually think that this was a really interesting moment to have after she asserted her dominance, where we see what her positive traits are. Like, we get Elaine. We get Elaine and where she's going, but you're right, she's not there yet. Yeah, she's not there yet.
And
that's
like,
okay.
I think she's on her way to being there. But she can't be the queen who needs Birgitte in the room to be dismissive when she makes really, like, not great choices.
The thing with Elaine though is she is definitely polite to people. It's just Matt. She's just kind of awful to Matt. But when she is more graceful towards, like, other people.
We don't see her interact with a lot of people, though. And her and Nynaeve were not graceful towards each other in their trip to Saladar.
No.
So I think, let's see how she responds to Rand when they run into each other.
Yes, that'll be interesting.
I think it's going to be very interesting, because I think Min is very positive for Rand. And I think that Aviendha, in a weird way, is very positive for Rand. And I think that the tension is going to come from Elaine. I think that the foursome is the tension that is going to come from Elaine at first.
Yeah.
And Avian is going to have to work really hard to get them on board.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, there's a fuck ton of Wilders now who are about to join the tower. And
we have to get to the conversation that I want to have, that I said we're waiting for the end for.
Yeah.
Rihanna is 420 years old. I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because so much of this story has been about lost information. And if you have characters that can live for so long, it makes it hard for me to buy that there are all of these mysteries about what have happened in the past. Mm-hmm. Brett Babineau, thank you so much for that super chat. Been with you guys since the beginning. Can't believe we're at book 7. We've aged so well. Feels like such a great journey. Super excited for season 2 reactions.
Thank you.
Me too.
So are we. We're very excited.
I think that it is. I think it's really. So much of the early parts of these books have been about lost information over time, and now you're introducing so many characters who make the amount of generations back that these events that have been forgotten hard for me to buy into. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
Because, like, Arthur Hawkwing is now only 3 generations ago for the Aes Sedai.
Was it 1,000 years?
It's like 1,200 years since Arthur Hawkwing, right?
Look, I see where you're coming from. I don't agree. I think that the reason that the knowledge has been lost is because no one fucking communicates with one another. And it just furthers that point that people don't actually like to share any information. Like, it's been 3,000 years since the breaking, right? That's still enough generations.
Right, but a lot of Aes Sedai survived the breaking.
Yeah, and they don't share shit with one another.
Yeah, but
they're all
No, they don't share shit now. Because, but that's only the Aes Sedai we see now. We don't know that that's how the Aes Sedai have always been. Mm. Right? And so it is tough that you have so many characters now who live hundreds of years, which implies that during peacetime, when there wasn't as much war.
Not so many. We have a handful, maybe, of characters. Right? Because a lot of the Aes Sedai that we know are like 40, 50, 60.
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know how old most of them are. And there's no reason for us to think that they aren't older.
I mean, none of them are
how
like
old is
as
Varen?
Powerful, right? Rihanna being as powerful as she is why she's lived so long. She's way more powerful than a lot of the Aes Sedai, right?
I know, but you're telling me that, like, the Aes Sedai survived the breaking, killed off all the men over 100 years, and then didn't... Because, like, there were female Aes Sedai who killed off the male Aes Sedai over the 100 years, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that those Aes Sedai didn't pass along the knowledge of the one power that they had? Why wouldn't they?
Because they're fucking assholes.
But then they're just weakening the White Tower.
That's what they've been doing. The Aes Sedai have been weakening the White Tower themselves.
The Ogier also lived for hundreds of years. Like, there's too many characters in this world who live for hundreds of years for me to buy that there's a problem of information not getting out.
But so many people died, right? Like,
it doesn't matter how many people died. If there are characters who are 420 years old, then there would be no question about what happened 500 years ago, because that's a generation ago.
Talmains, thank you for that super chat.
Talmains, thank you so much. Been an issue since book 3 when Moraine asked Loial for information about the Forsaken. It's been less than 10 generations for Aes Sedai and the Ogier. It's been less than 10 generations.
Yes. Rantamore as well, thank you for that super chat.
It bothers me that no Aes Sedai passed an iPad down or some info to their great-granddaughters. 100%. Here's my thing. I know in my family history 10 generations ago who is my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
I'm happy for you. Most people do not.
No, but it doesn't matter that most people don't. There are enough people who know that information about their pasts that we have to go back.
But no. We already know that the Tower manipulates history to be what they want it to be. We know that there have been so many
people
events.
Outside the Tower.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does. It matters greatly.
No, those things get lost because only a handful of people know what actually happened. And so that's why the truth splinters away, is because they rewrite shit to serve them.
But you can't keep secrets if people were there. And
but
that's the problem. They were there.
It's still thousands of years ago.
They were absolutely there. And that it becomes a problem of world building if you're going to have such a like, this story is about lost knowledge and also characters live however long we need them to.
Yeah, because characters manipulate the truth to serve them better. That's why shit gets lost, right? Like and there's people who like...
I don't buy that after the breaking, these 150-year-old women were like, you know what? I'm just going to let the knowledge of the One Power go away. I just don't buy that.
Because there was like probably like 25 Aes Sedai left.
There's no way there was 25 Aes Sedai. They hunted... Why? Because they hunted down men for 100 years. Uh-huh. They would have found more people. They would have trained them. Like, this is where it gets weird, is this 100-year period of the breaking gets really strange to me if there are people who lived for all of those 100 years. Plus... Maybe for 500 years. But they probably died. No, but what do you mean they died?
Like
they had to live.
The world was in turmoil for...
But we know. We are told that the Aes Sedai spent 100 years hunting down male channelers and stilling them. Yeah. Which means that at least some Aes Sedai survived to teach those Aes Sedai.
I swear to God, there was probably like 25
It doesn't matter if 25 survived because they would have taught the others.
But no, you lose so much information because not everybody was present at each thing that happened or has the information. Some people keep it to themselves. Some people don't pass it on. Some people don't understand how certain things like worked, right? Like we know that people have.
But they would still train the next generation.
But we know that some people have specific talents and affinities for. No,
but that's not the problem. The problem isn't that like some talents were lost. Uh-huh. The problem is that the White Tower functionally does not know anything about the One Power.
What do you mean doesn't know anything about the One Power?
Forsaken are like, they basically are, they're basically cave trolls compared to what we know, right? But like, how is all of that information lost if...
Which information are you talking about then?
How channeling works.
What do you mean how
channeling works? They just don't know.
They know how channeling works. They can channel.
Okay, but even still, if you have characters that live to 420 years old, they would try shit. This idea that the Aes Sedai are so stuck in their ways when they live for so long and aren't...
But then they don't share it. But then they don't share it because they're fucking assholes.
I think that it makes it harder for me to buy in.
Sure, that's fine.
It makes it harder for me to be like, Ken Swain being 300 years old makes it harder for me to buy into the world. Because the world would have advanced so much further if people can live that long. Because people can amass more knowledge. And like...
if they want to.
What do you mean?
Well, there's lots.
What else would you do with your time? You're 400 years old.
I don't know. She was fucking planting roses.
Like, the idea that Rihanna's 420 and she's just sat in that house for 420 years is insane to me.
I don't know. There are lots of pieces of history, even like where we are now, that we're hidden.
We don't live to 400. We live to like 80 years old.
But even still,
generations pass more.
But if we're comparing it, there are things that happened 100 years ago or less, which is a single generation, that like we're just finding out about. There are people who don't think that the residential schools existed. They are just finding out about them.
There's a difference though between like information that is intentionally hidden and the story being about information that was lost.
Okay, but the White Tower definitely intentionally hid shit.
Eric, thank you so much for that. Joining the Nargs 9 months. Someone would have left an iPad.
So
they
much.
did. It was left in Ruidian.
Oh no, that explains it.
Dero says, for fantasy comparison, in House of the Dragon, there are 9 generations from Game of Thrones. The prophecy was lost until Rhaegar found it. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I just think that like I find a 420-year-old character changes the world in a way that like it changes literally everything about this world to me.
I think that
because there should be wilders that are, if she's a wilder, right, and she's 420, there should be like wise ones in villages that are like 170 years old. Like this world would function differently if there are 400-year-old people. It just would. It would change society.
But not everybody lives to be that long.
But it doesn't matter if only a few people do. The people that do would functionally change how people interact with the world. If you met someone who was 300 years old, if there was one person on this planet who was around 300 years ago, it would functionally change everything about our society.
But we would have to know that they're 300. They would have to share that information with people. I could meet someone who is 300 and not know it. I get what you're saying about how it makes it harder to understand that, but I do think that it is set up, especially with what we know about the White Tower hiding and manipulating and changing information, that to me, I'm like, yeah, it fucking makes sense.
But see, that doesn't work for me anymore. The White Tower can't hide information because none of them die.
That's not true.
If Farron is 170 years old and Cadsuane is 420 years old, you can't hide anything.
Why?
Because they were there. You can't tell them that they weren't there.
Not everybody was there.
Like, the idea that Varen and Cadsuane wouldn't know about every... Like, because they're
That's like saying every Aes Sedai was in the tower at the time of the breaking, when that's not true. Like, maybe a third of them were? Maybe?
What do you... No, but...
Not everybody is there for each, like, event, right?
I just don't buy it. I don't buy that the Aes Sedai have all of these secrets that only the sitters know about, right? Because they have this like book of secrets that only the sitters and the Emerald Seat know about.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, what do you mean secrets? If it was 60 years ago, half of the Aes Sedai were there. How is it a secret?
Only if all the Aes Sedai knew about it could they have been there.
If the tower broke 60 years ago and a bunch of people left the tower 60 years ago, half of the Aes Sedai would have been there, at least.
And they're probably all dead and murdered.
They're not dead. I said I haven't been dying a lot until recently.
They probably got silenced, right? If the White Tower breaks...
Oh my gosh, you're saying that the White Tower just murders its own? Like, is that how far... But
have you met Eleda?
You have to go so hard to justify the storytelling of this, right? You have to go into, like, the Aes Sedai are literally so incompetent that they will fight and kill each other to keep secrets, which I don't buy. Because again, Cadsuane would have fucking been there.
But only if she was actually presently there. She might not have been there for, like, certain events, right? Like, if you're talking about a specific event, that's fine.
I just think that, like, Book 7 is really far into this story to introduce the idea that there are humans that live past 200 years old.
I don't know.
I just think that, like, you're suddenly at a point where it's like, oh, the world is very different now. Mm-hmm. Like, the world is wildly... Like, how are there Black Aja? If someone's been around for 300 years, I find it really tough. It's very fake to me, and it's too late in this story to suddenly have 300-year-old people.
I don't think so.
Because there was a point where, like, the Aes Sedai lived long, but they didn't live as long as Ogier. And I'm like, that's not true. That was a lie.
Well, there's a lot of Aes Sedai who don't. Oh my god, I can't read that. I'm sorry. Ashandarai, thank you for that super chat.
Ashandarai, someone admitting to being so old would be burned at the stake by the White Cloaks.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, they would be very sus of that.
Cadsuane is uniquely old among Aes Sedai. Why?
Why
is she uniquely old among Aes Sedai?
Because she's powerful.
But why?
Because she was born that way? I don't know. We don't know.
But this is my point, right? They've introduced this thing now where Cadsuane is 320 years old.
Yeah.
Or 207, however old she is. All right, cool.
Yeah.
How many other old people are there?
Probably a handful.
All right.
I don't think there's going to be, like, everybody's going to be, like, 300 plus.
I'm just going to say, you're right. You're not wrong, and I'm not wrong. We're both right.
Yeah.
I'm saying this doesn't work for me. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's weird to me that Cadsuane is suddenly introduced in the middle of Book 7. Mm-hmm. She's 300 years old. Mm-hmm. She was at Logain and Mazrim Taine's stuff. She's never been mentioned before. Mm-hmm. The oldest member of the Aes Sedai, and she's so old. She's been around for all of it. Like, it is such a, like, sudden introduction of so many new things in one character that I find her... She's a real struggle for me. And then introducing this other character who's even older, who's a part of this whole other thing that's this whole... It's just like, there's so much going on in this series right now. Mm-hmm. And they've just introduced these two bombs that functionally change my understanding of how information gets passed down among the Aes Sedai. And, like, changes how long they live.
I actually really liked that we got it from two different perspectives of the Aes Sedai White Tower Aes Sedai and a channeler who has been...
That's fair. No, like, that's fair.
...around and just trying to survive under the radar for 400 years, right? It just makes the Aes Sedai seem more incompetent, which, like, I'm on board with because they suck. They're terrible at what they do.
I know it probably seems like I'm going in too hard on this. I'm sorry. I just felt like this was something that really, like, threw me off in terms of... This series needs to start consolidating things, and it just keeps introducing more things.
Good luck with that.
Well, but that's my problem, right? Is like, I want to keep enjoying the books, and this section, we talk about how it was so much, but literally it was 7 different POVs across 12 chapters.
Was it?
Yeah, because we get the Savannah storyline, we get the Matt storyline, we get the Nynaeve storyline, and granted, those two are both Abu Dar.
Sure.
We
Rihanna.
Rihanna, which is a whole new thing to add to the mix.
Yeah.
We get Perrin going to Gildan. We get Elaine and her Aes Sedai storyline.
We get the
Moradin Moghedien stuff.
No, you're like, right. Yeah.
Is that everything? Rand and Min, sorry.
Yeah.
Or Morghese. There's like 9 storylines going on right now.
That's true. This was a crazy section.
I just think that adding in Rihanna and like adding in Cadsuane and Rihanna and the kin and all of that, and they live for hundreds of years, is just a crazy thing to add to this story that right now I'm like, it's a little bloated.
Yeah,
There's a few too many things going on at the same time.
Yeah.
And those just don't really like, they don't jive with all the other storylines to me because they're so old. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's fair that it's not working for you. It makes sense to me.
Cadsuane would talk like a crazy person to everybody else.
Why?
Because she wouldn't speak the language that everyone else speaks.
Why?
Because she would have an insane accent that doesn't exist anymore.
Why?
Because she's 300 years old.
So?
We didn't speak English 300 years ago. The language of English that we speak today did not exist 300 years ago.
And if you lived through it, you would change and adapt with the changes.
She would talk fundamentally different. She would have different vocabulary.
I feel like you think 300 years is a lot longer than it is.
300 years is an insane amount of time. 300 years is an insane amount of time.
Father Jerusalem, thank you for that super chat.
In the year 1720, we did not have technology that we had. Like we didn't functionally we were a fundamentally different society.
Yes, the biggest difference between our society and their society is that like we went through all of these revolutions together, whereas they're stuck and stagnated. Like they have been the Dark One basically like put his fucking boot on the world and stuck it in its place.
The Dark One did not put his boot on the world.
Yeah,
he is locked away.
He broke it up.
No, he did not break it up, first of all.
All right, well.
The Dark One did not break the world.
Fine. Then the male channelers stunted the world and its growth and its movement. Colonel Sanders, thank you for that super chat. It was younglings. Oh my god.
In the year 1720, the United States was barely in existence.
Okay. I just mean that
but you know what I mean? Like that is an insane amount of time for someone to live.
Yeah.
And
we haven't been told about any like drastic changes or like revolutions like that have taken place in any time recently. They're like stuck in a specific time period, and I think that is on purpose because they lost everything. It broke apart. Like, the world, like, shattered, and the Black Aja, the Dark Friends, the Dark One, the Forsaken, have all been, like, controlling and, there's a word for it. God, words are hard today. Not allowing the world to progress and move forward and learn things that can be used against him, like that can be like.
I don't buy that. If the Dark One has been able to influence this whole time, that's too much. It's just too much. Then what was the point of sealing him away? What, the Dark One has just always been able to be out there doing shit? Like,
no, if he was out there doing shit, they'd all be dead.
But that's my point, right? Like, if the Dark One was influencing it the whole time, then it doesn't mean anything that the Dark One's out now. And it does mean something that the Dark One is out now. It changed things.
I mean, he's not out.
Hold your fire. Think of that super chat. I had a friend who moved to Australia for 10 years. When she came back, she had this weird hybrid American-Australian accent. Oh, 100%. Imagine the way that she would not...
She would talk exactly how the people around her talked because she was influenced.
She would be a crazy... She would exist as an insane anachronism on the world. She would not function like a modern person.
Do you think people don't learn?
No.
Do you think people don't change and adapt?
No, I don't.
Well, then you are wrong.
I think that she would exist.
Holy Fire, thank you for that super chat.
Yes, thank you.
She was only there for 10 years and her accent changed.
No, it became a hybrid. That's what I'm saying. Cadsuane would sound like this crazy anachronism of past and present because she would be influenced by the past the same way that Matt does. The same way that Matt like sometimes slips into other accents and stuff. Cadsuane would do it all the time. She would be this weird anachronism, and she's the most on it modern person. But it's the same thing with
I
think the problem is I don't buy that she's 300.
Swan. It's the same thing with Swan. Swan talks about fish all the time, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
Yes, but they make a point of it with Swan.
Yeah.
They make a.
We met Cadsuane once.
I know, but she doesn't feel 300 to me. She feels like she's like 55.
Turvok, thank you for that super chat.
Turvok, thank you. You both have great points, but Nerdy, you go on these rants before you have all the info, but that doesn't make you fully wrong. I've only read what I've read.
That's where we're coming from. That's why the book club is fun, because we don't have all the information and we get to try and understand what it means before we get there.
I wish that this series was getting more concise and not more bloated. Look, I love this section, guys. I'm gonna be really honest. I really love this section. It was a wild ride. Mm-hmm. The sexual assault stuff in it is really hard to read, but also is handled better than I think most series handle that stuff, and is really honest. I think that honestly, his wife has a lot to do with that. Mm-hmm. Moonlight Paladin says Cat Swain is hobgadling.
Thank you for that super chat. That's funny.
Yeah, the difference there is that there's no culture of people living a long time. Hobgadlin has to hide the fact that he lives for a long time because he's the only one. Cat Swain does not have to hide. Right? And that's the difference between the two of them.
Aes Sedai.
She's not... Do you think Cat Swain hides from anyone? Cat Swain would walk into Amadisia, put Pedronila over her knee, and spank the shit out of that boy.
Why has she not?
Because she would probably die doing it. But
that's what I mean.
She's not hiding. Cat Swain is not hiding from the White Cloaks.
I don't know. We'll see.
I think this series is starting to lose its grip on pacing in a bad way. And I think that the pacing of the random storylines is starting to get bad. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's probably what people mean when they talk about the slog, is that we have approached a threshold where there are storylines that are telling nothing chapter to chapter, mm-hmm. because they can only progress so far. And I'm worried that we're going to get caught up in new and not never resolve the things that we've set up.
Yeah.
Because, like, it goes back to what we talked about, the true power. The true power is more addictive than the one power, which is already the most addictive thing. So, like,
yeah.
Okay, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, we have no idea what that means yet.
And once you establish beyond what you've established, once your story becomes establishment, mm-hmm. rather than like story resolution, mm-hmm. you kind of lose me and I get bored. And I don't want to get bored with this series because I really love it.
Yeah.
But I do find that I get like new information fatigue.
That's fair.
Does that make sense?
Fair. Yeah. There's another new thing. There's this box that does this, and there's this power that does this, and there's this other soul box that does this.
I would have enjoyed. Yeah. I would have enjoyed like the kin stuff more if it happened after we resolved something else.
Right. Yes.
But like, I'm really worried that they're gonna go, because we talked about this in the Sorry, this is such a long podcast, guys. I know we're 3 hours and 15 minutes. When I think McGideon has already stolen the bowl because they don't go to it that night.
Yeah, I think the Mogideon gets it
as well. And so now, not only do we get more information, but them finding out that those people know where the bowl is not going to be the resolution of the bowl. That is just going to keep going.
Here's the thing. My prediction is that the first thing that Nynaeve does to, like, after removing her block is go fuck up Mogideon.
Yeah, maybe but how does she find her?
I don't know. I feel like she, like, balefired. Like, people would have seen her running. She might have, like, really fucked herself. Because I'm just saying that, like, Nynaeve lost her block. She's got to do something epic with it right now, you know? There's got to be something.
I'm just worried we're going to get to the end of this book and we're still going to be in Abu Dar trying to find the bowl because the Forsaken have it. And Perrin is just going to get to Masema. And, like, this book won't have a resolution on anything. Because, like, think of the things that are just dangling threads from books ago that they just have ignored. Ship captain. Where the fuck are Ship Captain and Aegeanin, right? Where the fuck... What's going on with Samael? What's going on with... Like, there is so much. And I feel like if Robert Jordan could just clear a couple of things off the board...
Yeah, check a few things off the to-do list.
It would really help. But right now, it's just like, well, now the Sanshin are in Amadisia, but the White Cloaks aren't there because they're riding north to fight Perrin. And it's like, I need a board with red tape to describe where people are. Because it's getting so complicated.
Yeah. Like, the map is, like, gobbledygook in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know where anyone is.
And so I think that with my feeling that way, this new information about the ages has just been a thing that I'm like, God, well, now everything just gets more complicated.
Yeah.
Because now I have to start justifying what's going on. And I don't want to have to justify things for the book. I want the book to just justify things as it goes.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like it's doing that right now, while it's still very exciting. And I think that the slog is the wrong word for it, because I don't think it's boring.
Yeah.
I think that I'm bored because it's not...
It's like kind of overwhelming.
There's no
in a way.
arc.
Yeah.
Everything is just info. There's no ups and downs.
Yeah.
Other than the only downs are sexual assault. Like, and it's a problem when the only like lulls in your storyline, the only low points are sexual assault.
Yeah.
That's just how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I just feel like this went on very long, and I had a lot of feelings about this that I needed to get out.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
I know, but this is a 3 hour and 20 minute podcast, and we haven't done high-low yet.
Well, let's do it now.
Do we need to do high-low this week? Let's know our lows.
Highs. Let's give some highs.
The lows there's 2 sexual assault scenes. Like, that's lows.
Yes.
So let's do, we're only going to do highs this week.
Yeah. I think that would be nice.
Before we do high-low, I just want to say one more time, thank you for all the super chats. All the super chats from today's episode are going to be going to the Orange Shirt Society.
Yes.
Today is Orange Shirt Day, and we're going to be taking a lot of today off, and we're going to be reflecting, donating some money, and really, focusing on reconciliation today, just because Canada has a pretty dark history, and so does the Catholic Church, and it is important that we...
It's important to bring awareness to it, because there are some people who still are ignorant about it, and the first thing that we can do, the first step, is to actually acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Right. And then we got to start somewhere, and so we're doing what we can.
Yeah, and we can't bring those kids back, but we can remember them, and I think it's important that they're remembered, and I think that we all endeavor to do better moving forward.
Yes.
And I really hope that the Canadian government can do that.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for all your contributions, seriously, and today's been something.
Maurice says, I remember Slayer, he was cool. What was that?
Yeah.
Oh, Aelfin Eelfin?
Yeah, I really want that to come back, because I thought it was very cool.
The tower thing? Remember the tower thing? Like, this is my point. Like, it's just, there's just stuff. There's just stuff tossed in.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Clarence, you want to do your high?
I'm trying to decide, because there's actually a few moments that I really do love. But I think, I think it has to be, Elaine, putting the Aes Sedai in their place. It was really well done. I was cheering for her. That section genuinely made me very happy. So I think that has to be my high.
My high was she spun around before he could come on her from behind.
Of course, that is your high.
I haven't laughed that hard in so long, and I have not laughed that hard in so long. It's something else.
Yeah.
James Ross, thank you for that super chat. Hang in there, nerdy. You are halfway through, and I know people who dropped off at this point in the series. It really does pay off, guys. Even if I hated the books, I would not drop off, because I love book club and I love hanging out with you on Friday mornings. So I'm here because I do really enjoy the series, and I need to know where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm a completionist. I've seen all of Smallville. I've seen every episode of the CW's Arrowverse. I finish things. I finish what I start, is what I'm saying. But this one I am enjoying. I just think that I do have some reservations, and I'm worried about where it's headed. But thank you for that super chat. And if you want to like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit that dislike button. Leave mean comments down below, because the algorithm god is hungry. We must feed her. As always, you can follow us around the internet. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And don't forget to pick up some merch. Don't forget to donate to the Orange Shirt Society. That is all of the plugs so that everyone can leave. Thank you to our mods.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know today was a tough day for the mods. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You do a lot for us, and we appreciate it.
Let's
smash that like button.
Get into that final section.
Everyone's favorite. Everyone who doesn't want to be here can now leave. Smut corner. I feel like I said mine. I really want Elaine and Avienda to bone down, especially in that moment where they were all hanging around doing absolutely nothing, waiting for Brigade to come back. I was like, guys, this is a perfect moment. This is a missed opportunity. It's very unfortunate, but I would have liked Would have liked for oh my god, what are you doing?
Nothing. Shh, 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 shh.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Shh, 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 shh. What?
What is this?
Nothing. Just keep saying your smart corner.
Oh my god. Jesus
You
Christ.
I'm trying to do a funny show here where we surprise people, and you are not on the team.
I didn't know you were.
Like, you're not on the team at all for the show.
I didn't know you were. You should have given me a heads up.
This is the Claw show where I do my own fucking thing, and I
given me a heads
ignore
up.
my husband's funny ideas. God damn it.
Oh my god. My
smart corner is that I think that Berlane, Fael, and Perrin just have a threesome and get this shit over with.
Yeah, I don't.
That's a storyline that I could have a resolution to. If I were to choose one thing that would be resolved, it would be that. I'm really tired of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm kind of done with it.
Yeah.
It's just gone on for so long, and it's absurd to me that it's gone on for this long, and Fael hasn't killed Berlane.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that anyone is allowing it to just kind of, like, fester.
We also need Lan and Nynaeve to get married and bone down so that Morel can feel it. Not to be confused with Marilololo, but Morel.
Oh my god. You know what my smut corner is? Is all of the lesbian sex that goes on in the kin.
In the kin?
You know that house is just sapphic as fuck.
Yeah, they have to be.
Oh, there's some hot lesbian steamy action going in there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like a fucking sorority house during Pledge Week. And I have one final. Ariel spoiled it.
I did not. Wow, you real named me.
I did, because you spoiled it. But here we go. This is the final smut corner of the week.
She spun around before he could come on her from behind and...
You look like you're dying.
I couldn't breathe, which is why I look like I'm in so much pain.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Oh my god. You look like you're dying.
I look like I'm balding up here.
I can't, I'm dead. He's just spun around before he came on her from behind.
Thank you to our mods. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week for the final chapters of Book 7, The Crown of Swords, The Wheel of Time, the Nerdy Wordy Book Club out. Thank you, mods.
Bye, guys.
Bye.